Get some.
I don't know, but I've been told.
I don't know, but I've been told.
Boot camp's back, so grab that hoe.
Boot camp's back, so grab that hoe.
We read hard, we play it smart.
We read hard, we play it smart.
Bingo board will black that chart.
Bingo board will black that chart.
Courtney's leading everyone.
Courtney's leading everyone.
Training us to read for fun.
Training us to read for fun.
Drill instructors lined up B.
Drill instructors lined up B.
14 co-hosts for sprinting.
14 co-hosts for sprinting.
Alicia reads with purpose fast.
Alicia reads with purpose fast.
Books and budgets built to last.
Books and budgets built to last.
Jaleesa's got the family fire.
Jaleesa's got the family fire.
Drama books that never tire.
Drama books that never tire.
Coda keeps our tech in line.
Coda keeps our tech in line.
Spreadsheet sharp and hair so fine.
Writing lyrics if there's time.
The Cool Mix Crafts reads and reviews.
Cool Mix Crafts reads and reviews.
All from down under to you.
Reading from the future, dude.
Lushette shuffles tarot cards.
Lushette shuffles tarot cards.
Read and fade and sprinting hard.
Read and fade and sprinting hard.
Kita's force is strong, no doubt.
Kita's force is strong, no doubt.
Books and Star Wars, she geeks out.
Books and Star Wars, she geeks out.
Donna's reading Smut and Spice.
Donna's reading Smut and Spice.
Dungeon Mistress isn't shy.
Basement Daddy's got her tied.
Jessica Kiwi reads the beat.
Jessica Kiwi reads the beat.
Song-based collabs are her treat.
Song-based collabs are her treat.
Dee Dee's halo always glows.
Dee Dee's halo always glows.
Just an angel reading prose.
Got her angel reading prose.
Atia sprints through the night.
Atia sprints through the night.
Sometimes till the morning's light.
Sometimes till the morning's light.
Paula brings the game time vibe.
Paula brings the game time vibe.
Trivia with Jackbox Live.
Trivia with Jackbox Live.
Kiana has IG flair.
Kiana has IG flair.
Dance Mom sprinting everywhere.
Dance Mom sprinting everywhere.
Nell loves rom-coms frivolous too.
Nell loves rom-coms frivolous too.
And drinks wine with her Wednesday crew.
Drinks wine with her Wednesday crew.
Chantel haunts the horror list.
Chantel haunts the horror list.
Spooky stories always hit.
Have you read this? This shit's lit.
From the indie corpse.
Read one from the indie corpse.
Now mark them off your bingo board.
Mark them off your bingo board.
Find some booktube newbie friends.
Find some booktube newbie friends.
And show them love how best you can.
Show them love how best you can.
Meditate, now clear your mind.
Meditate, now clear your mind.
Hydrate on the double time.
Water should be double time.
Buy yourself a little gift.
Buy yourself a little gift.
Shopping for a spirit lift.
Shopping makes our spirits lift.
Track your reading, log your stats.
Track your reading, log your stats.
With Goodreads and Storygraph.
Goodreads and their story graph.
Read rep disability.
Read rep disability.
Create an activity.
20-minute workout, please.
We read loud and we read clear.
Read it loud and read it clear.
Boot Camp Readathon is here.
Boot Camp Readathon is here.
So write 10 books down on your list.
Write 10 books down on your list.
Or less if some were 2 prompts fit.
Each book can make 2 prompts fit.
Smash the like, subscribe, and yell.
Smash the like, subscribe, and yell.
Boot Camp's tough, but we won't fail.
Boot Camp's back, so give them hell.
Boot Camp Readathon.
Get some.
That was fun. Sorry, I had to transfer over. Okay, y'all. So we have some folks in the house. We have Ms. Nell here. We have Ms. Jessica Kiwi here. We have Ms. Paula Family and Books. There we go. We have room for 2 more. Okay. How's everybody doing?
Good. Very good.
Welcome. How's boot camp going for everybody?
I'm on my last book. Oh, nice.
What is that one? Oh, okay. I see Lord of the Rings. Okay.
So it's Sean Astin's kind of experience working on Lord of the Rings.
Okay.
But at the moment, we haven't got to Lord of the Rings.
What is yours?
Raiders of the Lost Heart.
Oh,
that sounds cute.
Oh,
Is that a
cute.
graphic? Is that a graphic one?
Audio.
Oh, okay. Well, that ought to be cute. I'm assuming it's a play on Raiders of the Lost Ark, right?
Yeah, I mean, I'm only on chapter 5, and it's basically they're all archaeologists on a dig. So,
I'm assuming there's going to be some romance. What about you, Miss Nell?
I still need to finish what is it called? Sex is a Spectrum. I have like an hour left in the audio for that. And then I need to read The Pearl, which is a pretty short book, so I should be able to get that done this weekend. We'll see. I really need to be practicing this weekend, so I might not get to it until Monday.
Okay. And I think we have one more in the house that I just saw. And we have Miss Lachette. Ooh. Okay, there we go. Oh, it's so small. How can I make us bigger? Ooh. Hello, Miss Lachette. Let us know what you're reading here. I'm trying to make us bigger in the process. There we go. Okay.
That works.
I was like, why did we get so small? Can you hear us? Hello? Hello?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Oh.
Okay. I mean,
Looks like she's talking.
I wonder if she knows she's here yet. Oh, hold on. Let me see.
Are you muted?
Okay.
I just put the something in the private chat, so hopefully she sees it.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell her to cut her screen and come back. Cut your. I can spell it right. Cut your stream.
I'll be back. I'm just gonna put some stuff on the dryer.
Okay.
Oh, it says she's backstage. Ooh. Well, technical difficulties. That is the name of my stream. Well, she definitely. Okay, let me take her off the stream and then maybe put her back in. And there we go. You hear us? No, she's definitely on stream.
I think it's frozen now.
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna just take it off for now, and then we'll come back. I'll give it a minute or something.
I think it's difficult because they're using their iPad or their phone.
Oh, you gotta love all those. I always have issues with just the computer. Don't add me to anything else. Well, welcome everybody to Boot Camp Readathon Game Night. Yeah, I think she cut this stream. Okay, well, Boot Camp Game Night. Okay, we're gonna play Never Have I Ever, which has been like forever since I've ever played. So it should be a fun time for anybody that doesn't know, that just kind of dropped in or like, what is boot camp? It's kind of like a military theme, all around type thing. A readathon, military inspired, paying homage, exercise, fitness, get your mind right. Maybe get some nutrition in there, just a little bit of everything, just to call yourself a good person. I'll say that. We're at the home stretch, so that is always a good time. Okay, this is what, the 27th. So it looks like everybody's kind of getting their bingo board. It is a blackout bingo board. Descriptions all in our details are in the description. Let's see.
I think Jess and I are coming at you from the future. It's the 28th for us.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, there we go. We got some sci-fi too, so there we go. Can you hear us, Lachette? I don't know. Hold up. It's her thing. It does just say camera. I notice on her
She looks
thing.
she's trying to say something, but we can't hear her.
Yeah, on the thing when she just came in, like when I'm looking at actually everybody else's says. Actually, hers doesn't have an audio option. It only says camera. So I think she needs
Maybe she has to enable the settings or something.
Yeah. Hold on, let me see. I'm put it in here. You're definitely not yeah. Your
oh yeah, there we go.
Stream says no audio enabled. Just the camera and me. Oh yeah. For anybody that streams, y'all know the deal. There's always some technical
There's
difficulty.
always some kind of technical
Yeah.
somewhere.
I'm wondering if I could join with my phone and see if I could like figure out what Lachette needs to
Yep.
kind of click or
Yeah.
whatever backstage.
Yeah, well, I think with her, it's on here. Like I can see from like the source when I put everybody in, everybody has a camera and then an audio. Hers doesn't have an audio option, so it's like she didn't enable audio. So that might be the issue there because we can see her. So, but I'm sure we'll figure it out. We're gonna be here, so we'll figure it out. All right, so Blackout Bingo, that's where we're at. We're towards the end of the month, so hopefully y'all are getting the blackout going. I have completed, I believe, all of my books and then some for the readathon.
Nice.
Let me just see real quick. Yep. So I'm just kind of working, completing all the other stuff. So there we go. And as far as what I'm currently reading, it's just an extra. It's a manga. Junji Ito Ramina.
Ooh.
Pretty good thus far. You know, he writes kind of weird horror type stuff. So we'll
Never
see.
read any Junji Ito. I've wanted to, but I've
heard great
not got
things
there yet.
from him.
Hello, can you hear us?
Yeah, I've been able to hear you guys loud and
Oh,
clear.
all right.
There we go.
Because you can't hear me. I was trying on my laptop. That was not working. It wasn't loading the whole page. It was just showing me your faces and you're talking. So I
Oh.
anything because no buttons loaded. I'm now on my phone, so now I have like a partial screen situation here.
Phone for the win. We can see you. We can see you. Oh,
We can
frozen.
see and hear you.
Yeah, that's the main thing.
There you go.
I can hear you, Paula, but because it's such a small screen, I can only see the top of your bum. And
That's to
Cute bun,
be
too.
fair, that's the best bit. You know, it's all good.
It's cute. we were catching up to see how you're doing with Boot Camp Readathon. How far are you into it? You've read all your books. Where you at?
I have not read all of my books. Trying to think of how much to say because I have one of my 10 things is related to the readathon. I have books yet to read.
Okay.
I think I've done all the activities. So,
What are you currently reading?
Hookshot by Kennedy
Ooh.
Roberts today.
I'll be buddy reading that next month for Readathon.
That ought to be a good one. I've heard good
Is that
things.
the first one?
No, this is the third one.
Okay, so I'll be reading the first one in that series.
I think it's Long Shot.
That's a hockey romance, right?
No.
I think it's basketball.
Oh, okay. I'm not used to seeing like a basketball romance. I thought that, but I was like, no, hockey, because that's what I'm used to seeing. So it's kind of nice to see something different.
It's nice to see a different sport. Not that I'm very sporty. To be fair, it's like I won't watch sports, but I'll watch sports movies.
That's true.
You know, like Remember the Titans and stuff like that. I'm like, yeah, sign me up. But you know, what actually watching sports, I'm like, nah. Leave me alone.
Kind of like a little highlight reel there. There you go. You're not missing something. It's the same game every week when you watch regular sports. Same game. They do the same old stuff.
Hey, go sports ball.
There you go. There you go. What were you saying about Junji Ito, by the way?
That I've not read any Junji Ito, but I want to. I've heard only good things.
Yes. Tome is pretty good. I will say with him, I think, a lot of his stuff is in black and white. And he's, writes weirdo stuff, but his female characters, I feel like all look alike. I've read
I can believe that, yeah.
they all look alike, but they're pretty interesting. So, I think it's worth a shot. Tomei's a real popular one. I think Uzumaki's another one. So
I mean, it's manga. All manga is black and white. They just have like special editions where it's in color. So it's not a Junji Ito thing.
Oh, see, I did not know that. I venture more into like the comics and the graphics, but I'm enjoying this one. He's a pretty good time. I probably read more manga by him than anybody else, but fun time. Okay, let's get into the chats here. We got Miss Kristina. You are first. Hello, lady. How are you doing? Reporting for duty. Although my sister is coming over, so I'll most likely just be lurking. I will leave you for watch time. Well, thank you very much. I actually just had a sister leave today. So sad. I never had family come over. It was a lovely, lovely week. So lots
What
of
was the
beef.
occasion?
Huh?
What was the occasion?
Just visiting. Her and her husband came to visit,
That's nice.
probably it's their vacation. I stay near beaches, so took
Are
them to
you
the
closer now that you've moved
to
to
the beach.
family?
Yes. Yeah.
Well, to family in general.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I guess you could say that. Yeah, but still a plane ride away.
I was gonna say, are you still in Jersey?
No, I'm in Florida.
Oh, I did not know that. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I moved in December, so
Okay.
I'm glad.
I knew you moved, but I didn't know you moved to a whole different state.
Yeah, a whole different state. It took me moving to a whole nother state for family to come visit. So it took them to like Clearwater and St. Pete and all that stuff. But good time. Too much time in the sand and the sun. I'm going to boycott the sun for a few weeks to get rid of this tan. I got a beautiful one naturally. The one I got is a little bit more. I bargained. So I know, Kristina, how you feel. Kristina says, recruits, remember to salute the like button. There we go. And make sure to report to duty and subscribing, and stop by the mess hall, get some. Let us know what you're going to be eating while you're at the mess hall. Post the pics, go to the Discord, arts and crafts. I love all this that she made up the whole spill. I've been loving that all
Mhm.
Let's see what else we got. Kristina, Discord. There we go. Like I said before, if that link does not work, because sometimes they expire, the one in the description button here definitely works. Okay, not subscription, the description. You have options. Here are the announcement videos and the TBRs that everybody put so much awesome work into. I enjoyed watching those. Here is the Storygraph Challenge. Make sure you stop by, post your books. You may also get some good book recommendations from other people that have posted as well. So stop by there. Here's the Convoy Sprint playlist. Make sure that you definitely refresh that because it changes all the time. And there we go. So I think, we still have some more stuff. And if you're not on the Convoy, report to Chantel, who is next at 9 a.m. That is tomorrow. Okay, good to go, y'all. Good to go. And Kristina is dancing. That was a very good intro. I'm telling y'all, Coda did a good job on that one. I was bobbing my head too, not gonna lie. Not gonna lie.
I'm glad my camera was off because I was like,
See, the way my thing goes, it's like I pull it up via Google, and for some reason, if I'm on the Google screen when I pull it up, it freezes. Like I can't go back and forth. It stops when I come here, so that's why there's like a lag of me decreasing things and stuff. Figured it out. Kristina says, getting some movement. There we go. Get some good stretching. Double hydration time. Okay, double hydration. Here's my double hydration. I'm gonna drink through the straw.
Double hydration
With the cup. There we go. Make sure y'all get a drink. There we go. Keep up to There you go. There you go. Oh, we got some red water. Okay. Make sure you get some. Hey, Molly. What'd you say? Well, I thought somebody said something. Kristina says hello to Neil, Jessica, and Paula. And we're going to add Lachette in there too. And Molly. Look like Around the World group. I know. Isn't that awesome? I love the aesthetics. Not going to lie. There we go. Everybody says hello to each other. Hello, Alicia. How are you doing? Another boot camp host. Hello, Lily. Finishing up dinner with the family. Yum, yum, yum. Let us know what it was. Let us know. Hey, Nicole, how are you doing? You're in the comments. Awesome. Thank you for coming by. Much appreciated, Miss Lady. Lily says hello to everyone, too. Hello, hello. I'm just getting to the comments. Y'all have y'all list together of your never have I ever?
I need to think of a couple more. So
I wrote down some stuff. We'll
see, whenever I've played Never Have I Ever, it's always been like rude. So I'm like, I'll just wait and see what other people have come up with. But I never have I ever, and I'll see.
I have
Don't
one
get too
question
bad.
that could be slightly rude.
Is it?
But I put that like right at the very end. So
That's how everybody wants to. It's like when you play truth or dare. It's like, why can't we be safe? Lisa says, I don't think I will get a full blackout, but I'll get close. Okay. Do your best you can. Okay. I'm not going to give you a slap on the wrist. Okay. Or a slap on the hand. But I will say 50% of a task or over 50% of a task is a completion. So you can mark it off. So if you didn't meditate every day, but at least half the month, then you're good to go. So keep that in mind too. Sorceress Comes by T. Kingfisher. Oh, I hope you're enjoying that. T. Kingfisher, I was about to say the pen name Ursula Vernon. Or is T. Kingfisher the pen name and Ursula Vernon their real name?
I think Ursula
Either way,
is the
that
real
was
name,
what
right?
Huh?
So I think Ursula is the real name, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. And
To
then this
Google I go. Ursula Vernon.
Yeah, there you go. Linda says, hello to everybody. Hello. Alicia says, that is how it always is. You move away and they come to visit. That is true. That's true. I never had any visitors in Jersey. And then it's like, we'll see. That's one. I'm excited about that.
Well, to be fair, when we moved to Wales, no one came to visit. So it's like, oh, all right then, fair enough.
Yeah, they're using you for the location. There's some of it. It's like, it's like, did you bring me something at least? So
sorry, everyone's notification just went pling. That's because I added everyone to come and hang out in the comments here.
Oh, awesome. Okay. Thank you. Let me turn this down because my phone always tends to ping in front of everything.
I have my notifications turned off after 11 o'clock.
Oh, that's a good idea.
That's a good idea.
I did that for work. Oh my gosh, because they're just constantly all day with random stuff. I'm like, take me off this chain if it's not work related. I don't need the meetings. I don't need this. We are not conversing. We are not friends. It's like, I don't know. It's like I don't ever answer any of these messages. It's on the same message chain they have of, do you want to work extra? No, I don't. So why then they can start doing jokes and stuff? I'm like, get me off this ride. I don't want to be. Okay. Hello, how are you doing today? Nicole says hello to everyone again. Donna says, I'm here just off of my sprints. Donna has been on all day. Rest in peace.
I was just
72-hour reading sprints.
But I didn't realize she was on all day. Otherwise, I would have been there earlier.
He was on too. Who else did I see? Katie was on.
Elle was on before.
Yeah, was on.
Chrissy's on. Shannon.
A lot of people. I was just kind of hopping around while I was trying to do my hair and then just lurking on whatever channel. Generally on Chantel's, but I would kind of forget and lurk on others. But it's been a long day.
Lexi, Katie, Jenna, Ashley. A lot of peeps.
Yeah, we just need to kind of cross-reference all the streams and put them on like this. So you just kind of click on one. All right, everybody says hello to each other. Hello, lovely Jaleesa. Popping in quick to say hello. Wish I could join. We got to head to the store and watch the replay. Buy the kitty something good, lady. Hello to everybody. Glenda says, I'm currently finishing up Miles Apart by Tanvir Pert. Indie Self-Pub author prompt. There we go. Give them some love. Make sure you give a review for these indie authors. Show them some love. A lot of these indie authors tend not to have many reviews online, as maybe, they could probably pay off for that. So,
yes.
I see we have hello. Glenda says hello to Jaleesa. Hope all is well. I'm just kind of going over the hellos, but y'all see them, right? Say hellos. Lots of hellos. There we go.
Everyone's so polite.
I was gonna say, speaking of Megan, I saw there's a Megan 2. Have y'all seen that movie with the robot that kind of goes haywire?
I've seen
the
the first
Megan
one.
2.0, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I saw this. I don't know. This made me think of it when I saw Megan there, but I
The
saw the
second
first
one looks pretty epic, but like you
Yeah.
never
I don't
really
understand
know
the
because
premise
trailer
of it.
always
Is
looks
it like
better
in
than
the
what it actually
future?
is.
Wait,
Is
say it
it
again?
set in the future?
I don't think so. I think it's just like the AI is like moved on. It's
Yeah,
just
one band, yeah. Yeah, I don't know about Megan 2, but yeah, Megan 1 is kind of our
Oh yeah, I
time.
saw M3, but I haven't seen the second one. The second one, like the trailer made it seem like it was in the future, and I was like, huh?
Mhm. I'm still on the Sinners kick, so I don't know about the other ones. I rewatched that last night again. It was pretty good.
Wow.
Look, everybody.
I think Donna might be backstage.
Ooh, where we at? Where we at? Oh, look at us. We're at a full capacity.
Hi.
Hello, Donna. Hello, lovely lady. How you doing?
I'm good. You?
I'm good. I'm good. You got a breather from sprints. You got a good glass of water, refreshed, energized.
Got
There
tea.
we
I got water.
There we go with the cool cup. Let us know what you have been reading and how you're doing on your blackout bingo.
I just finished this on sprints before I ended.
Every
Every
summer.
summer after. Did you
Okay.
like it?
I loved it. It's by a Canadian author, so every like little bit, I was like, "Oh my god, I know where that is."
That's what I've heard. I think
So-
Kelsey said the exact same thing, where she liked it so much, but it was mostly because of all the Canadian references that she was able to be like, "Oh yeah, I know what that is."
Yeah.
To be fair, I'm
and
like that when a book's set in Britain. I'm like, yep, I know where that is.
It's nice to have that representation in books, you know.
Mhm.
I definitely feel you. I like when I read books like by like African Americans or whatever, and and they're like referencing like the bonnet or like doing the hair stuff. I'm like, oh, okay, and the locks. And that's not something I really grew up with books in, so I like still seeing that, just that representation. So I feel you on that one.
my board looks like that right now. I'm still updating it.
What's the emoji on top?
It's rainbow.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's cool. You're bored. You know, you got a few more days. You know what I'm saying? It's the 27th. Let's see. So we got Kiani says, I just got out of the painful shower. My whole body feels like it's made of popping candy. Oh no. Yeah, she's been having some nerve pain. It's just like, what in the world? Yeah, I hope you feel better. I know you've been having, some issues for a minute. And that hospital food I've been seeing it in the Discord.
Mm-hmm.
Bring it on.
We do love you, Kiani.
Yeah. Hope you have some good books, okay, to kind of get you through, okay. See, that makes candy just not seem as appetizing now anymore. I'll say hello to everybody here. I'm just getting through some comments here, and we're going to get to some stuff. Everybody's wishing you some love, Kiani, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Alicia says, Megan 2.0 is continuation, and someone is out to hurt the girl. So they upgrade Megan so she can protect the girl. That is all I know.
Oh, okay.
I'm trying to remember the end of Megan. Didn't they get rid of her? Or they updated the program? I'm confusing that one with this other one that I saw with Megan Fox.
Oh, I want to see that. I do want to see that.
That was good.
Yeah, where she's the AI thing.
Yeah.
Megan Fox.
Another one you're talking about, yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
I've not seen any of them, but I know of them.
Yeah, they're both pretty good. I was apprehensive about the Megan Fox one because, people always overhype her, I think. But no, that one was really good. I definitely recommend checking it out, too. SKG reporting for duty.
Special K girl.
I keep hearing about this Special K. Now, what exactly is the Special K? I think I keep tuning out.
It's ketamine.
Oh, some drugs. Okay, I get you.
It's the good drugs.
It's good
So
stuff,
Special K, I don't know about the UK, but at least over here in New Zealand, Australia, the street name for ketamine is called Special K.
Yeah,
Yeah.
same over here.
It is the same over there. Okay.
That sounds
What about
like a
America?
Yeah.
Well, ketamine is actually like a horse tranquilizer.
Yeah.
So
All I kept on hearing when I think of Special K was the cereal.
Same.
Yeah.
I remember people
Why are we
referencing
talking
that.
about the cereal?
see, to be fair, if the cereal stopped pain, I'd be like, yeah, I'd be surrounded by
Sold out.
Me, all the
boxes.
Special K.
All the boxes in my house,
Yeah.
is Special K cereal.
It would be
At least it'd be healthy for you.
Hmm.
Yeah, at the hospital we use that quite frequently for different, pain management, knock people out type things. So, but I first heard about Special K on ketamine on Armageddon. You know the movie Armageddon?
Yeah.
Yeah, I first heard about it in there, and it stuck. Okay, so Chris, hello, wonderful people. How are you doing? Hello, hello. 3 books to read to finish the bingo board. You got this, girl. You got this. Put some time. You got it. Congratulations. And thank you very much. It's some hard work by a lot of lovely, lovely instructors, and it's been a good time. I have been enjoying it. Chris. Oh, there we go. There's a book, I think it's called With a Love from Cold World, that is set in Orlando. I want to read. I've heard of Cold World. With Love, Cold World.
Interesting that it's called Cold World, but it's set in Orlando, which is not cold at all.
Where
That's what I was
it's never
thinking.
cold.
I mean, there's some moments, but it's not long, It's one of the feels. Super Cat Girl. There we go.
That's what it was.
Saying Donna Special K is a cereal. Exactly.
There's
Probably
a
not
cereal
as
over here as well.
popping candy in my mouth, not in my eyes and legs. Yeah, I agree. I agree. You don't want that. I hear that in my elbow. Like, I was like, oh no. Sounds like that hard rock candy. Nay.
Even though you're in absolute agony and pain with having the shower, at least you showered.
That is true.
That's hard to do when you're in a lot of pain. So,
Yep.
Big up having a shower.
And hot showers sometimes helps you feel better, but nothing ever really when you're in pain. But I get you. I always make the light of stuff. I work in a hospital, so I kind of have a weird sense of humor when it comes to pain. I kind of detract in a whole other directions. It works for patients. You have patients just in the absolute, just not having a good time, just having to even be in the hospital. So I always think of something kooky, and it distracts them at least for a little bit.
To be fair, being a chronic pain sufferer, it's like we have the darkest sense of humor.
You gotta let them keep them crying, right?
Yeah.
Amazing reading. Oh, that's awesome. Always get your books there. I tell you. That makes me feel better, but at least it's one step in the right direction. Okay. We're here for you. Alicia says, I think it's supposed to be a theme park or some sort of attraction. Ooh. That would be interesting.
Maybe like a water park or something. That could be cool.
They have those cold museums. You know what I'm talking about? Where it's a freezer or whatever, and it's a museum you walk through. They have those in cold weather environments. I've done that.
I've never heard of that.
Yeah, I've seen that they've got the ice hotels and stuff.
Yeah, I've heard of ice hotels, but not museums.
I've never heard of that either. I've been to an ice bar. I've never heard of a hotel.
Think about ice bar.
I thought you said car. I'm like, wait, how do you get in an ice car?
No, bar.
Yeah, they give you a whole little coat when you go in there. 5 books so far this month. There we go. That's good.
Nice.
That's good.
That's good.
Keep it up. And push through the pain. The nurse this morning hated me because I was screaming in the shower every time the water would touch my skin. Oh, I'm sorry to hear. Tell her give you some more K. Some more Special K. Help you out. Okay.
But you're she's on a more leveled kind of administration of it now, which is really good.
Okay.
Because they were playing around with the levels, I think. So yeah, one of the nurse kind of put her foot down and was like, it needs to be consistent and level. Because
it's good when they finally medicate you right. Sometimes it takes a while to get to that right point, and you hope that it kind of stays there. So
everybody's different.
And especially being over the weekend as well, they don't really have doctors to come around and see you.
I know that. I understand that. They take their little breaks at night too. Sometimes they put it off till the day, and it's like, oh, you're a patient 24/7. So, well, hopefully we add a little levity to the situation today. At least take your mind off it a little bit. Max out straight into the stomach. Oof. Okay, we'll help you out a little bit, hopefully, at least in this little area of entertaining you. Okay,
I'm very interested to see what some of Kiani's answers are going to be.
Okay, so I'll explain a little bit. Okay, so never have I ever, for those that have never played it, right? And we're going to modify. Okay, we're not drinking, which a lot of people add drinking to the mix. Okay, I mean you can get your glass, but we're not doing shots.
I have like 2 mouthfuls of coffee.
If y'all want to do shots for yourself, you're more than welcome. But I'm not. That's not part of this.
So, like, if we've done it, shall we just like kind of?
Yeah, you can do that.
We've done it. Yeah.
So never have I ever basically you say a statement and we can, rotate. If you don't have one, don't worry. I'm pretty sure we have some to make up and then you can always think of one. But you say a statement, right? And so it's never have I ever. But if you have, or if somebody has, then never have I ever. I'm thinking of it. You put your hand down, right? Yeah. So you're like, never have I ever. And if you have done it, then you put your hand down. So that kind of lets us know, hey, you did something. And then you can tell a story if you want to elaborate. Okay. Everybody's good?
Yep.
Now, since these may be good, bad, whatever, entertaining, not so, okay, I'm going to lead y'all at your own discretion if you want to like tabulate your percentage, whatever. But I'm going to keep tabs of how many we actually like ask each other. And then I'm going to keep tabs of how many I've done. And that's just for me, okay? So y'all can do what y'all want on that one. And audience, feel free to participate as well, okay? Let's see. Kiani says... we couldn't tell from what was workish because it kept changing it. Oh, what was working because they're changing all that. That's true. You shouldn't change too many things all at the same time. We always say that because you need to figure out what was actually working and what wasn't. You change too many things. It's like, was it the combo of it or just one thing? So I feel you. Have some fun. There we go. And you mean to drinking coffee. Hey, that could be fun. I got some chocolate mint tea the other day. Delicious. Okay. Fun time. Okay, who would like to start?
You should start, Brittany.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
Nell saying exactly what we thought. It's all you, babe.
But do y'all want to keep putting hands down? Oh, we'll put hands down. Okay, there we go. Okay, so I'm going to start. I categorized everything I wrote down into 3 categories: exercise, food, or mind. So I'll just start with exercise. Very safe one. Never have I met someone in the military.
You put your hand down if you have or if you haven't.
If you have.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, if you have? Wait.
Yeah. Never have I met someone in the hold on. Never have I met someone in the military.
Brittany, you still have your hand up.
Yeah, that's true. I'm confusing the game. Never have I met someone in the military. I have. So yes.
Wait.
So Donna is the only one that's
Does the Marine count?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, well then I should put my hand down. Never mind.
Okay. There we go. Okay, that's a good one. See, varies tame. Okay. How about okay, you didn't have some Nell, so how about Jess?
Me?
I have some.
Oh, you did? Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
Oh,
Go
you
ahead.
did.
Okay. Anybody have
never
any
have
stories about the military people? And no stories? Okay.
Alicia says that they're married to one, so kind of. Yeah.
There you go. You're in there.
Let's see if I remember this. My great grandmother was the very first woman in the New Zealand Armed Forces.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's some story.
I think this was World War I, but she was manning Kaitaia, which is way up the top of the country. She was manning the radio station. So I don't think she exactly saw any action, but like they had to adjust a men's uniform to fit her so that she could have a uniform. And then following that, my great grandma, so Gigi, she was in the Air Force as well. Both of them were in the Air Force. And she manned Whenua Pai. I think she was the cook. But there's some kind of TV series out there somewhere, and I cannot find it, but it explains in, I think it was World War II, they had to emergency land a plane that had a whole bunch of Japanese prisoner of wars, including like men, women, children, stuff like that. And Grandma Gigi actually had to take care of like the kids and stuff like that, and like mend them and make sure they weren't hurt and stuff like that, and take care of them and stuff like that.
Wow.
And she had to keep that a secret for a very, very, very long time.
That's a
So
big secret.
it's not a secret anymore, because like they actually did a TV series about it. But
No, I'm saying like at the time, you know, to know such historic stuff. That
yeah,
she, you
well,
know,
she had to
brought
keep it a secret for probably 60, 70 years.
Wow.
She was in her 80s, I think, when they did the interview. Closer to 90, probably.
You probably find her in some history book somewhere. That ought to be pretty fun. Let me see. I'm just gonna get through each. I'm gonna go through comments in between each one, just in case somebody has something to say about what we're doing. Buy a new book for everything you've done. There we go. There we go.
Oh,
Oh,
I did some damage there.
My bank says no.
Military man. There we go. Military Marines. There we go. Yep. Coast Guard. I saw some Coast Guards at the beach the other day. And my grandmother was in the Army. Okay, there we go. There we go. We got some people. It's hard to find somebody that is not knowing somebody in the military in some capacity, even if it's not in family. So
Yeah, especially like with the older kind of generations, like grandmas, grandpas,
yeah,
great grandmas,
Mhm.
kind of thing.
Nell, you are up, Miss Lady. Are you ready?
Oh yeah. Never have I ever cried reading a book.
Like, what do we consider crying?
The tears come out of your eyes.
Yeah.
See,
The liquid
I got
comes
a
out.
little choked up at Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix with Sirius, but I didn't actually cry. I didn't shed a tear.
Yeah, I didn't
So-
share.
It didn't make me choke up at all.
She's like, no.
I just
See,
cried.
I'm not a
to-
book crier.
Me either.
I just cried to Before I Let Go by Kennedy Ryan like 3 times.
I need to
Oh, man. What scene was that? Like, or is that a spoiler? Like, what was so sad about it?
I have a vlog on it. I've read the pieces for it, but it's one part where it gets to like a depression moment that the woman had, where she just didn't want to get out of bed,
All right.
and just the way her thoughts went, and it made me cry because I've been there.
Oh, okay.
So
Well, that's cool. That's probably awesome. That's pretty cool when you can kind of relate to a book pretty well.
Mhm.
Yeah, I don't think
I have
I've
2
ever-
videos on my channel where you see me cry.
Yeah,
One is during my whale rider vlog, which is like the second or third video I ever did. And then the other was on stream with the Bridge to Terabithia. And I didn't think that one was going to get me. I went past the part and I was fine, didn't even really choke up. And then all of a sudden, it just kind of started happening. And I was like, I had my camera on. So yeah.
To be fair, I can see myself crying a book. I mean, the one that I read for boot camp, Autism Out Loud, is basically like parents of autistic children, and they had like a section of like, you know, what knowing that we're gonna constantly have to look after our children and what we're gonna do for our kids when we're no longer there. Like, you know, got to make sure that they've got permanent care and all the rest of it. And it's like thinking about that and thinking about Wyatt with that made me choke up a little bit, but I still didn't shed a tear. But I feel like, you know, with the perimenopause happening, I'm crying a lot more frequently to things and getting more emotional about stuff. So I feel like it could happen. I could turn into a book crier quite easily. Right
Just
now.
make sure you record it when you do it, because it'd make like great content.
Yeah, just like reading a book and then just start filming myself. Just don't say I had to do it.
I've seen some videos like that. I've seen some
Like me.
people video like that.
Did you see my short for Fourth Wing? When I cried, I like bawled my eyes out. You could see, I was like,
So that thing that happens
bless
towards
you.
the end of the book, without
I
spoiling
mean,
it.
it was my third time reading it, and I bawled more that time than I did the first two.
See, our reactions are very
Maybe
different to
you're more
that scene.
connected.
I was like,
Okay.
No, like I
There's
was
a song,
pissed. Like
too.
I was so angry. I vlogged Fourth Wing, and you can literally see like the scene where I'm like listening to that happening. I'm just sitting there like, I can't believe this author did this. I can't believe. So like the fact that Donna's
dare
crying.
you?
Yeah, like we have very different reactions.
I've had boogers coming down my nose. That's how bad it was.
it's so funny because normally crying is, I mean, there's happy tears too, but for the most part, I think when people are crying, there's some sort of distress or sadness or something. But you know, when it comes to books, it's more, I don't know, it's more of like a positive cry, kind of like a cleansing. So it's like not that same thing. It's more of, I love that, you know, it's like, I love this book. Most people be like, oh, you're crying, you're upset about something. It's like, no, I love this book. That's why I'm crying. Not that I'm a book crier. I've had some, like maybe a glisten in the eye, or be like, oh, but not like.
Yeah.
See, this may show how dark I am, but you know, like the thing that made Donna cry, it actually made me smite, like grin from ear to ear. 'Cause I'm like, that author, man, that was a decision, and they went for it.
Yeah.
And I didn't even see that coming, and I was like, yes.
I
Well,
didn't
they want a
either, and I was
response
furious.
from the books,
See,
and
when
they
I-
got it,
like-
you know.
When I like, you know, take myself out of that, like when I'm reading the book and things happen like that, where they like kill off like a loved character or whatever, I just imagine the author when they're writing it just like kicking the feet with glee, giving it, the readers are gonna hate me.
Alicia,
As someone who writes, yes, that's pretty much what happens.
Alicia's cried. Let us know the book. Kiani is cried like a mug when the owl died. Is that Fourth Wing?
Hedwig in Harry Potter.
You can tell I have not read or seen or remember probably. Nicole says Colleen Hoover reminders of him. It was very close to what was happening in my life at the time around my granddaughter. Okay. We're not gonna jump on her, y'all. I know there's not a lot of Colleen Hoover fans in general around a lot of book too, but it's okay. I still stand by there. It is a good book, but that's the one I like. Okay, so who's up next? Yes. Okay.
Jeff?
Oh, hold up. I didn't write down. I have not cried. Okay.
This is a reading related thing. And it's never have I ever connected to a mandatory read in high school.
Huh?
What do you mean
So
by
you know
that?
how like in high school, like English or whatever, you have to read certain books? The thing is saying I have never connected to
Connected or committed? I can't hear what you're saying.
connected.
Oh.
Like
Connected.
related to them.
Like liked the book or related to the book.
I'm just switching hand. It's still a no.
I guess no.
Okay, y'all gotta let me know if that's a yes. What book was that?
On the ride.
So for me, it was this book here, The Raging Quiet. I read it in high school.
I never read that.
Was it required reading for high school though?
Yeah, it was.
Oh.
It was in English class. We had to read it, and then we actually had to write a speech about like some of the things that happened in the books, and that was an assessment. And And I honestly did not. I was not a big reader, and I hated like essentially all of the books that we had to read in high school. But this one, I think, because of some of the content in it, and I don't want to spoil it. Mind you, this is really hard to get a hold of. I think you can get it on Amazon. So if
Is
you
it
can get it
banned?
on Amazon, seriously, I recommend it. But because
Is
of
it
some of
banned?
the fact that it like kind of for a young adult, it got quite heavy at a certain part that like actually really affected me. I think I actually cried during a certain part, and it actually made me feel quite sick.
Hmm.
What's the name of the book?
The Raging Quiet.
Oh, Nell was asking if it was on the
Is it a
banned book.
banned book? Yeah, is it a banned book? You said you can't get a hold of it anywhere.
It's just because it's a New Zealand book that's not really well known.
Who's the author?
Cheryl Jordan.
Okay. Just checking that I got the right one.
Cool.
That is a very different cover.
It does have disability rep in it, and that's all I'm going to tell you about the book.
I'll throw that on the to be read list.
Yeah, I mean, it starts off really slow, and I thought it was going to be really boring, and then all of a sudden it just sucked me in. You know, with some of the like the relationship that she builds with a friend and stuff like that. And you know the way they navigate communication and stuff like that in this book is really interesting as well. So yeah, I want to talk more about what happens, but it's going to give away like parts of the book. So yeah, look it up.
Will do.
Who else is connected with the book?
Can you repeat the question for Kiani? A nurse turned up, so they missed the
Never
question.
have I ever connected with a mandatory read in high school.
That's definitely a no for me. Oh, Alicia cried. Harry Potter and Deathly Hallow. Okay, A Fault in Our Stars is pretty good. I saw the movie, not the book, but that was that's a good one. I could see crying in a few parts in that one.
That movie was really good.
Every
Yeah.
time I think of that movie, I think of how the two main characters are boyfriend and girlfriend in that movie, but then you look at Divergent and they're brother and sister.
Yes. I realized that when I saw
Wait,
it.
are they the same people?
I
Yeah,
haven't
same actors.
His name is Ansel something. Yeah, he's a cutie too. Yeah, that is funny.
Wow.
I cried at the ending of Time Traveler's Wife. It was a good. Oh, that was well.
Yeah, that
when I saw the
could
movie.
make a few people cry. I could say that.
I got the question. Freaking nerd. Interrupting you. Tell her to come back. Mainly because I don't remember what the required reading was. And I was sitting the whole time thinking, is there something? I kept rethinking. Maybe it is a yes, but I don't.
See, I was just like, I think the only thing that we had was like Romeo and Juliet, and I was like, yeah, I didn't connect to that because I was just like, God, you guys are dumb.
The only book I remember is To Kill a Mockingbird, but I never read it. But then I also stopped going to school because I became pregnant.
That was an okay book. I reread that as a graphic like earlier this year or last year, and I was like, yeah.
My granddad just gave me a copy of that book.
Never read it.
Yeah.
I don't know if I've ever read that one.
Hmm?
I have always liked reading, and all of those classes were my favorites. So, like, I have tons of books that I connected with. A weird,
Ooh, pretty.
not quite book, but
Yeah.
there's like a epic. God, I forget what it's called. I don't remember, but I remember liking Catcher in the Rye. The something Sun, which was like African American literature. I forget what the title is. I am really bad
A
at
Raisin in
reading.
the Sun.
Say that again.
A Raisin in the Sun.
No, I don't think I've read that. I think I just watched the movie for that one. I forget. I'm really bad at paying attention to titles and authors. I just know I'm reading a book half the time. And if you ask me, I have to look at it to remember what I'm reading.
It's character names that fall out of my head. I can have just finished the book and I'll forget all the names.
Oh yeah, I definitely don't know either. But yeah, there's tons that I just enjoyed reading. And I was that kid in class that was like, when they asked all of those questions, like, what was the theme, or how do you connect this part with that part, and da 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 da. And I was just like, yeah, that's interesting. Da, 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 da. Like, my English teachers love me.
Cannot relate to
Analyzing
that
the
at all.
books is what killed it for me. The over analyzing at it, but I to a certain extent I enjoyed the stories that I read in high school. It's just the text and reading it, like Jane Eyre, interesting premise. Reading it made me want to stab a pin in my eye. Things like that.
I
To
can't
Kill a
think.
Mockingbird, interesting story. The ending, what the heck? Just
What was the
it's
book
just,
you just said?
Oh,
Jane.
To Kill a Mockingbird.
Oh, sorry.
Like Great Expectations, interesting. Reading it, and just analyzing it. All those type things is what kind of just killed the stories.
Yeah.
That's
I wish
so
they had
interesting.
audiobooks when I was like back in high school. It would have made
I
things so
agree.
much easier.
I
I
agree.
hear
They
kids
did, but
now
there
use
were
a
books
whole
on
lot.
tape. They were less
Yeah.
accessible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I just remembered. It's Beowulf. I loved that.
Ah,
Really?
So, because part of it
I was
was
like, what the heck?
so different. It's an epic poem, so it was just so completely different from everything else we were reading.
Mhm.
So not a book.
I saw the movie to that.
A
Is that
song,
this thing?
Yeah,
and
I
it's
think so.
so I was like, oh, this is fascinating.
See, a
I would
lot
think
of the
the
books
funnest
that you
thing we
guys
read was Lord of
named.
the Flies, but then
We
nice
didn't have to
again
read that.
analyzing. There we go.
Wow.
yeah, but
Oh wait,
Oh, Tolkien wrote that?
I didn't know
no,
that.
it was edited.
Oh.
We were like, oh,
Yeah.
I was learning something new.
I don't
It's on
remember.
Project Gutenberg. If anyone wants to read it.
Yeah, it's free. It's a classic. So
Mhm.
I've never bought a Beowulf book. If I want to reread it, I just go online and
So
find it.
yeah, by Tolkien and edited by his son.
Mm.
Fascinating.
Oh,
Interesting.
But it's the
papers are
translation.
really
It's the translation and commentary. So it's not just the.
so it's not just the poem; it's got like thoughts as well.
It's all the things.
Interesting.
Okay.
Yeah, all the books that y'all named most of them were books that were required reading, but I did not read them. Half of them I never even started. I was just like, they passed out the book in class and it sat in my locker, it sat in my backpack. The pop quizzes came, I circled C when in doubt. I made up the answers. I did not care about reading at all in high school. Literally the only book that I finished. High school, middle school, none of it. Never finished a book until I got to 9th grade. And I actually read all of Catcher in the Rye. And I was like, this book is so cynical. This was also like 9th grade. This was like my Paramore era, So I'm like, I'm here for this. This is like dark, depressing. Like I'm
Angsty.
love. Yeah, I'm loving it.
He's like,
That's
I'm
the
here
only
for it.
book that I actually finished in school that was a required reading. Nothing else that they assigned to us did I ever finish. I started Great Gatsby. I started The Crucible. They were interesting, and eventually I just was like, video games. Just stopped reading and never finished the book.
I read them all. I don't remember a lot.
Yeah, I've read
I
a
can't
lot
stand the Great
in school,
Gatsby.
but it's boring.
What
I'm
did
glad
I
it's
think in my
short.
review? I said The Great Gatsby was a literary drunken haze.
Mm.
I found Great Gatsby interesting because it's like New York. So I was just like, oh, this is fascinating. Yep. That hasn't changed much. I mean, it's like Long Island. But yeah, they have a personality type, and so I found that very
And
interesting.
the personality type is being rich.
Yeah.
I like that. I would love that.
than rich in, Manhattan or
Mm.
rich in Martha's Vineyard or rich in Mar-a-Lago. So they have their regional richness, personality.
Yeah, I love The Great Gatsby. I thought it was great. I just eventually my attention span snapped and I was like, video games, and just never finished it.
Is this Great Gatsby? Whoever
Yeah.
this is?
Mhm.
Okay. I don't know anything about that. Okay. Is this? Kiana says my high school teacher got me to read Parkland by Victor. I don't even know that, and that started my love for sci-fi. See, there we go. There we go.
Okay.
That's the beginning of the Kiani we know. All it takes is one book sometimes. If it's a good one. Okay, who's up? Okay, Miss Paula.
So, never have I ever willingly cracked a book spine.
No, wait.
I don't believe in that.
Wait. I'm trying to figure it. I have. So I put my hand down.
I said willingly. If it happened by accident, or like if you've got it from like second hand or whatever, and it's already
Oh,
done,
no.
it's like have you
I'll just hold the shit around.
have you willingly just?
Yeah, them jaggedy books from the library that are already on his last leg don't count. Because that's what happened to me. I taped it back and told them, look, I didn't do this.
Yeah, this one's cracked because I literally was like this.
Okay. Look like most people are okay. What about you, Lachette?
I did.
You did?
Yeah, plenty of times.
Like, I don't feel bad about it.
Like it's paperbacks and they're stiff, and quite often I want to read the whole line of text, and instead of trying to do all just open the book all the way. It doesn't bother me that much. Honestly, like BookTube and all of that made me aware that that's a problem. Like, oh well. I try to go a little easier on library books just because I know, other people are going to be reading them, and you want them to last as long as possible, but I'm not super precious about it. And definitely, once I buy the book, I'm like, it's mine to do whatever the hell I want with it. So.
No, I fully agree with that, but it's like I also like unhaul my books. So it's like I want to kind of like keep them in the best condition if I do unhaul it and give it to someone else. So it's like if I get a secondhand book, I don't care that it's like it can be beat up or whatever. I don't mind that, but it's just like when I'm giving something, I just want it to be as best as it could possibly be.
Yeah, I have unhauled stuff. But yeah, I'm just it is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's interesting when people have those like 800 page or 600, whatever, those big, thick paperbacks. I've seen people on YouTube like literally just like break it in half. So they take one half that they're reading and then they come back and they read the other half. I'm like, really? Just I don't get that. Yeah, something like that. They literally take it apart, like half of it. Yeah, I just take one part because it's so big.
You just turn that into a floppy paperback. That's what we like. We like a floppy paperback.
Specifically crack spines, but like with paperbacks, it just kind of automatically happens at a certain point.
Yeah,
but it's not something I go.
Do you not do the thing where you kind of like spread out the pages evenly to try and make it so you don't actually crack the spine? So I did it with like Burial Gaze. There's no crack on the spine, but I went through and kind of like laid it down and did the whole straightening out the pages so it's easier to open and read.
I don't mind a crease.
And it doesn't crack. It doesn't crack or crease the spine.
Okay. Take care of your books, y'all, whatever way you want. Animal Farm, they required. It's all right. I enjoyed it more.
I loved Animal Farm. It was really I didn't read it in high school, but I read it like last year, and it was so good.
Yeah,
I've never read Animal Farm.
Full cast audio, and I enjoyed that so much better than reading it in school. I didn't mind the story itself. I mind all the analyzing. The story itself was a fun time. The analyzing, I was like, holy cow. That was the part I had a problem with. So Lily is laughing and smiling at us. Jean says, I read Ray Bradbury's Martian Chronicles in elementary school and read everything by him. He is one of my faves. Hey, there you go. You got somebody cool. He has been around a while too. He's like Patterson. Lily's like, I'm
I
not
read Something Wicked This Way Comes
Yeah.
last year, and I really enjoyed it. And I was like,
Bradbury's
that's usually a mandatory read for schools, isn't it?
I think it's Fahrenheit 451 usually.
Oh, is it?
I haven't read that either.
Really? Oh, I thought that was all
That's
American
good.
required reading in school.
No, so like my high school years, I guess. Well, I don't. Maybe Courtney, you might be aware. In New York City, we have specialized high schools, which we have to take a test to get into. So I was in one of those, and our like English classes were pretty diverse. So I wasn't reading all European or American white authors. So I read things like, oh my God, In the Time of the Butterflies, which is a Latino author. I'm forgetting her name right now.
I've seen the movie.
And yeah, so like each semester it would be a different demographic of authors and also a different type of reading. So I mentioned Beowulf. So we weren't always reading novels. So we get poetry, which I didn't do that well in except for Beowulf. Plays, so like Shakespeare, of course. And a couple of other mediums. So it was really diverse with high school. And then I think junior high school was a little bit more typical, but that was only 3 years. And where I was at, it was more focused on Black authors than not. So I haven't read 1984, even though that's the year I was born.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
I have read 451. I haven't read that. Some of the other you guys have mentioned, I'm like, maybe I should. They're old enough.
It's good that you have such diverse reading, and also you probably relate to some of those things a little bit more. So yeah, we didn't have that. I had a regular public school education.
It's good that you had that in school because, like, we literally had like read Shakespeare and only Shakespeare.
I mean, we had Shakespeare.
Or read Dickens, basically some dead English dude. I'm like, yeah.
I think I've only read 1 or 2 Dickens. And I mean, I like Dickens. I read Great Expectations after, I think, on my own. After watching the movie, I was like, oh, this is interesting.
Yeah.
But yeah, only 1 or 2 Dickens. Like I had like Toni Morrison in The Bluest Eye and that kind of thing in middle school. So
yeah, it's definitely not something they had us read in our schools. There probably wasn't even on the docket. I didn't even think about it.
I've only read one Shakespeare, and that was Macbeth, and that's because it was drama, and I was playing Lady Macbeth. That was interesting. My teacher kept adding monologues like 2 weeks before the production was supposed to go ahead, and I'm just like, talking like whole monologues as well. I'm like, oh.
Yeah, we had to act out like the Romeo and Juliet scenes, and it's like we had the fight scene with Mercutio and like and Tybalt and that, and then we had the scene with Juliet and the matron. So yeah.
Let's see. So Kiana's talking about best friend, Paige is falling out. Lily wants to cry. Don't blame you. We're like, don't destroy it. Lily says, nice. Kiana says, 1984 was so boring. I wanted to love it so much because the concept is great, but the book was bad. I can't even remember what it's about now. That's not the one about book burning, right?
No, that's 1984.
Okay.
No, that's Fahrenheit. That's Fahrenheit 451. 1984 is basically like,
Big Brother.
yeah.
Yeah, the government check. Yeah, I don't think I ever. Yeah, I don't think I ever read that. Maybe I have. I don't know. It's been forever. I know I read Fahrenheit 451. That's about it. I think I read that
Mhm.
twice.
I think I read Animal Farm and 1984 in the same year, which was like last year or the year before. They were Animal Farm. I think I had more fun reading. 1984 was interesting, but like Kiani said, it was kind of like boring. Interesting concept. Chapter 9 is my favorite chapter. I could just read chapter 9 over and over again. The rest of the book, we don't need it.
See,
Okay.
if you know, like synesthesia, where like when people like see colors with like words and things like that. If you were reading 1984, it definitely just feels grey.
I
It's
agree.
just
I have one book like that. Ethan Frome. That was the one book I was like, I hate in high school.
Mm.
It's so boring and it's so cold. And it's just about this man who's married and like his wife's cousin comes and he finds himself attracted to her. But like, no, that's wrong. And that's the whole fucking book. Nothing was happening.
Jay books like that, like
Mhm.
psychological thriller.
It's just cold because they're in, it seems like the frozen tundra. And I was just like, please, she was with them for like a week too. So I was just, I still hate that book.
Well, Molly read 1984 in 1984.
That's so interesting. What was that like? I don't know if anybody else read it like back then, but like what, because it was written in like the 60s or something, wasn't it? Or the 70s? It was written like way before 84, but like reading it in 84, did it still feel like futuristic? Because like when I read it last year, and it was like, oh, so basically he's talking about like the Alexa TVs and like Siri and how they're listening to us, and that's why I get ads for things, and I was just having a conversation about like it all just seemed very normal when I read it. But I can imagine like reading that in the 80s. It was like, what?
It was published in 1949.
Oh wow, it was the 40s. Okay.
Oh, wow.
I knew it was like a while before the 80s.
Mm-hmm.
It's interesting to read books like that when you're younger. Like, you know how they have all this required reading for school, like Animal Farm. Like I read it when I was younger and then I revisited it as I got older. You know, it's interesting to see how your viewpoint changed when you don't have to read it or analyze it so much.
Yeah.
Kiani says they never do the good jealous Shakespeare. Okay. I don't know. Shakespeare I was not a fan of. I read it, didn't understand it. I got the gist of it. So it was a good time. I like the full cast audio. I will say I got through it much quicker, but it's still a good time in reading it. But the full cast audio for Animal Farm was really, really good.
Maybe we should do a buddy read, Molly Dot, because I've never read it either.
I haven't read it either.
Really?
Oh, wow. That's what I'm saying. I haven't read that. I don't think I will.
It's very short, so I'm like,
it is.
Yeah, it can be like done in like a day. So I'm like,
I'm convinced that Orwell was from the future. I feel like Orwell was from today, and he like went back then and wrote books telling them what was going to be happening in like 2025.
We're like, I was right. Hello, Maggie. How are you doing? Lurking and leaving a like after being at AWC all day. It's a conference, I think. Well, I hope that you had a good day and you're not too tired. Lily said we had to read those in 8th grade. I was bored to death. Yeah, some of them books just don't hit. You know, some people like them. I just think they need to. I don't know about schools now because hell, I think getting kids to read now is crazy. But I think that they add just a little bit more diversity to some of it. And I mean diversity as far as with like ethnicities, but also in just genres and stuff. I think will really help kids out, you know, and also add in like some graphics and things like that. I think that'd be really good. There's some good. I think adding graphics as history, like historical graphics, I think would be really good to get kids to engage more. My brother.
Now that you said that, I did have to read a graphic novel in high school.
Yep.
We read.
Remember
Watchmen.
what it was?
Yeah, it was Watchmen.
Yeah, that's a good one though.
I forgot about that till just now.
What's great?
What is
1984.
1984.
Oh, okay, I get you. Yeah. 84. There we go. Good year. Written 48. 82. There we go. 1994 was written in 1945. I'm getting all my numbers mixed up. Okay. Trivia question yesterday with Paula. Oh, there we go. Y'all were talking about a trivia in 1984. Molly says, I remember wondering why he thought there would still be newspapers in the future. I remember, yeah, there was still newspapers in 84. Seemed futuristic.
I just remember
Interesting.
the book I was talking about, Native Son.
Oh, I've
was
heard of
what
that.
I read.
Yeah.
That was pretty pointed. I need to read that. I for some reason, I vaguely remember that maybe I read it, or maybe I'm talking myself into having read that, but that's on my list to read as an adult. More people that have not read Animal Farm. Paula, maybe for your Pleasure Yourself book club, maybe you can add that as an option once or something. That people. Selena said, I lived in London. My local library was founded by George Orwell.
Wow.
Really? Very interesting. Okay, read it in his namesake. From Bunny Reed. I want to read that. There we go. Somebody do that. It's not going to be me.
Okay, I'll do it.
Just no pressure. I'm just adding that. You were talking about maybe Buddy reading it.
Pressure.
DeLorean. Are we talking about a car or something else? What is the DeLorean?
It's a car. Back to the Future.
No, the Back to the Future car.
Oh, okay.
With the
Time
doors
traveling.
that open that way.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay, I get you.
It's called the DeLorean.
Let's see.
The second one, they go back to 1984 or no? No, the first one they 1984.
They go back to the. They don't go back to. They go back to the 20s, I think.
No, not that far.
It's the 50s,
30s or 40s, something like that. Yeah. So maybe they're in 1984.
Yeah, I think the movie came out in 85 or 84.
Yeah, okay. That makes sense.
I know nothing about nothing. Funny Farm. Oh, okay. I enjoyed Funny Farm with Chevy Chase.
Back to the Future was 1985.
Okay,
Sorry, I'm just date checking.
next question. Who are we at? We are at Lachette. Okay, there we go.
Never have I ever drunk coffee.
You said drink coffee?
Yep.
Like, period. That's the end of the sentence?
Yep.
Oh.
Oh, never have I. Hold up.
I've drank coffee and then projectile vomited the coffee.
Oh my gosh.
I have indeed drank coffee. I don't like it. I don't do it very often. I'll have a sip. I like iced coffee a lot, though.
I love the smell of coffee.
Yeah.
But I just can't drink it. My body just rejects it. It's just like, no.
I drank coffee a lot, and then I had kids, and now I can only drink it like iced coffee.
That's the good stuff. That's because they eat all the sugar. That's what I like. Where's Kristina at? She's going to put all of her hands down.
If I have coffee, it'll be one kind of at about 10:30, 11 o'clock, and then that'll be me. I have a cup of tea in the morning, wait for that to sit down, probably have a glass of water, and then I'll have a cup of coffee, and then like that's it as far as caffeinated drinks. But I do. Keanu's saying I did that, Paula, in Sydney with tea, and I did.
Oh,
Keanu made me laugh so hard that like I was halfway through a cup of tea. She made me laugh so hard, and like my stomach, my throat, everything just spasmed and seized. and yeah, I projectile vomited a cup of tea in Sydney.
It looks like quite a number of people are not coffee fans, so I get it. Okay, so we have a question. Oh, what was that? What did I do with that? We have a question in the audience here. If I can remember where it was. Okay, here we go. Jess M says, have you ever lied about, question. Have you ever, hold up, I guess we'll play phrases as, never have I ever lied about reading a book. If so, why? Hold up.
I've never intentionally lied about reading a book. I may have unintentionally misled someone into thinking that I read a book, but I never said that I read that book.
Okay, so is that means like whether you've read it or not? Not because it seemed like a more broad question. Like,
Yeah, well, never have I lied about reading a book. So if you have never lied, hold up. Never have I ever lied about reading a book. So if you have lied about it, put your hand down. But you've never lied about it, keep your hands up.
I
I just don't remember.
I mean,
Um,
there's some
wait,
books that I
okay.
wish I'd never read, but
Like, time out. So the fact that I took those quizzes and like wrote those essays pretending, does that count? Does that mean that I have to put my hand down?
Yeah.
Like I did the Wikipedia version or the Cliff's Notes, so it's kind of like I did it.
I mean, I lied to my teachers and told them that I read these books that I never even opened.
I've kind of
That's
done
what
that
you
in high
did.
school and uni, like pretending that I've read the sections and just like hoping that I get the answers right.
Yeah,
That counts.
Sometimes you can guess them.
exactly. I'm like, context clues. It just makes sense based on the options
Or-
here. One of these things is not like the other, so this must be the answer.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Or
I've
like
done
I say that I've read the text, but actually I've looked at a YouTube video because that's what made me understand it better.
Yeah, they're like, did everybody do the reading? Yeah, we all did
Yeah.
the reading.
The amount of times my class has said that,
Don't do that in the book.
the amount of times they all just like remain silent. And I'd be like, yep, I did the reading. And those are times that I actually did the reading because my teacher like kept asking, like would ask me what it was about. And I'm like, oh shit, now I've got to read.
Well,
No,
there
that's
was
not
this,
funny. I
there
had
was this
actually done the
guy
reading that time.
We're gonna
that
keep
did the
asking
thing.
you.
I mean, I've done that with textbooks, definitely. Like college is where it was like, oh, you're forcing me to read, and it's just your book, so you can make more money. So yeah, there was definitely times I lied about reading, but more times, unfortunately, so thank God I'm past that. Like stereotypical, you're in like a business setting and people are all like full of themselves and like, oh, you must have read this. You have to read that to be so and so or to do this well. And
Yeah.
just like, I don't. Yeah, I read that.
Yeah.
See, that's what I was talking about earlier, where I'm like, I never said I read the book, but if you assume that I read the book, I'm not going to correct you.
It's because I nod in my head.
Right.
Sometimes I don't want to get into a discussion with somebody about whether or not I read a book or talk about it. So I'm just like, you know,
See, I was confused.
a lot about reading about not reading a book just so I didn't have to talk to somebody about it. And I did read it. It's like we're not gonna talk about it.
It's like when people turn around, like I think people have like done reels on it. It's just like, oh, you must read like all the things because you're always reading, and it's just like they're on about like you must read all the classics and all the things, and it's just like no.
Yeah.
It's a muddy book in my briefcase right now. But
It's like
that's
a lot of school textbooks have the same.
See, that's what I was confused by the question because I was like, I've lied all types of ways about the books I've reading, how fast I've read them, or if I finished it, and that kind of thing. Like just reading or not reading, I wasn't sure if it was like a broader question or just specifically whether I've read a book or not.
Yeah, just read it. All right, who's the next person?
Me.
Go ahead.
Are we ready?
Okay.
Dungeon Mistress is coming out. So are you ready?
Okay, here we go. Hands up.
You got two of them.
Never have I ever got hot and heavy over a book character.
Put our hands down if we have.
I'm kind of upset I didn't think about that
Put
question.
your hands down if you have got hot and heavy over a book character.
Just a book in general, but yeah. I can't remember who it is in general. I like some.
This does not
I
surprise
have
me
many
coming from Donna.
suitors. Many suitors in my bookcase.
Any suitors?
Jess had to go get a book. That's how nice.
I mean, look, this character is probably one of the only characters that I've actually like
See, I'll say that I've like got
wanted
some
to
book
meet,
boyfriends,
if you know what I mean.
but I've never really been like hot and heavy. Had that special download tickle over a book character.
No, there's certain books I get just for that. So
You get some ideas. Those books get you some ideas.
I think the same way that I don't cry reading books, I also don't experience
Oh,
that
God.
sensation reading books either.
Which one?
I've never read
Cassian
that.
or Reese
Reese.
or
It's
Azrael?
gotta be Reese.
Or is it Lucian?
It's gotta be Reese in that book.
It's
Or is
Reese.
it-
Yeah.
I will say, of like the whole series, well, apart from Reese, you go. You can't beat
I
Reese.
thought you were about to say you were liking Tampon, and I was like, no.
No,
No, he's
I
not-
always
no.
hated Tampon.
What?
Even when I first read the first
Tamlin.
book.
If you don't know, Tamlin is Tampon.
Oh, okay. I'm like, what is this book
The
about?
first book, I was like, this guy is like such a like weirdo.
wet blanket.
Clingy.
Um,
Just no. So who put their hands down to get in hot and heavy? Jess.
Wait,
Who
what?
else?
Oh, I
Put
did.
your hands down?
overall,
Slammed it down.
Lucian is my
Everybody-
favorite like overall character in the whole series, apart from Reese.
So who's your favorite hot and heavy, Donna?
Wait, I want to guess. I feel like it's gonna be Zayd.
I've got lots, but yes, Zayd is one of the tops. So you got Zayd, Zayden, you got Rhysand, you got lots.
Cassian. Azrael.
He's getting there. I haven't read the last book, but he's getting there.
He gets there.
Exactly
pretty-
does.
I
And
can't
lots
wait.
of different
Because I'm
chapters.
reading it with Basement Daddy. So I'm sitting here going, I'm going to get all hot and heavy, and you're just going to be sitting over there reading your little book.
See, Chris gets, because I go to sleep listening to audiobooks. And it's like sometimes the books get smutty. I'm asleep. I'm just like, yeah, sleepy. And Chris will wake up to go pee, and there'll be a sex scene happening. And he'll just like elbow me. He's like, dude, go back, because I'm just waking up to smutty. I'm just like, sorry. Go back to chapter 3.
I would have just left it. I'm like, you can deal with it. And maybe you could work those moves into our little time.
So wait, what
you know.
are you talking about, Donna? Because I don't know these characters' names except the Court of Thrones and the Court of Thrones and Roses.
Zayden is
Yeah,
from
okay, so
Fourth Wing.
Zayd is from Haunting Adeline.
Oh,
Zayd. And then
I
Zayden is from Fourth Wing.
have-
And then you got Rhysand and Cassian from A Court of Thorns and Roses.
okay. I haven't read Haunting Adeline. Honestly, I thought that was horror
Kiani.
a week or two ago, and I saw
We need to fix
The
this
gun
situation, Kiani.
The gun scene, right?
I don't know what anyone say.
And I was like, no.
The gun scene took me out, bro. I was like, I gotta go.
So I'll
I
probably
made
give that.
somebody read that and they're like, I kind of see why you like that scene so much. I was like, do you? Do you see it?
See, Dee Dee and I have said that we're gonna buddy read Haunting Adeline because we read Satan's Affair, and we both pretty much like stopped Satan's Affair at one point. We were just like, okay, we've had enough of this. This is just a little too
Satan's
much.
Affair is wild.
It's good.
It was like, what? This is a little too much. I would have liked more of the psychology bit that happened at the end. I would have wanted
agree.
more. I wanted more of that.
But the smut was
But-
fun. I'm not gonna lie. The smut in Satan's Affair was fun because it was so crazy.
I was good with the smut. I was like,
Yeah, it was
I
crazy.
told everybody that came to my house, I'm like, guess what book I just read? And they're like, what? I was like, Satan's Affair. You want to know what happened? I'm going to tell you anyway.
Yeah, I mean, mhm.
I'm looking it up now. I read
this book and you felt it was too much, but you're going to read another one by the same author. Is that what I'm getting with Dee Dee?
Mhm.
Okay. I just wanted to
Yeah.
make sure.
Well, the thing is, so I've been told that like Haunting Adeline is completely different to Satan's Affair.
Mhm.
Different
Okay.
storyline,
it's
but the
much
main character from
shorter.
Satan's Affair is in Haunting Adeline.
The main character. You mean the side character?
No, the main character from Satan's Affair.
Yeah. The main character from
She's a
Satan's Affair
side character in
appears.
Haunting Adeline.
Ah, okay.
And then
Right.
yes, the side character in Satan's Affair is one of the main characters.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's how romances usually work.
Oh,
Yeah.
Paula's
So-
just gotta. It's getting
Side
late
character.
for Paula.
yeah, it's 2:30 in the morning.
Oh,
Oh,
my gosh.
I forgot. 'Cause you came in here like bright and bubbly. I can't.
Haunting Adeline is 629 pages. That is
It is
What?
long. Yeah.
long.
Which book?
Haunting
Haunting Adeline.
Adeline.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
long.
I didn't realize that was that long.
And then let's see, Hunting Adeline is the second, and that one
Mhm.
is 702 pages.
But that one is better. Donna disagrees. Donna likes the first one. I like the second one.
Are these
How is it
fantasies?
better?
This isn't fantasy.
Dark-
Dark romance.
Care. They're both too long as far as Courtney is.
Yeah, they're both really long. I think that's why I
They're
didn't
both
read
way
it.
too long, but like, how is the second one better in your opinion? Now,
Because it has more plot. I feel like the first one, the plot,
Okay.
the way that they fell in love just didn't make any sense to me. It was completely unrealistic, and I thought it was stupid. The second one, the plot makes
that
more
was
sense.
my problem with it, and that's why I've been avoiding reading Hunting
did.
Adeline. There have been plenty of times, like I've talked on Read the Page so many times, Hunting Adeline would be perfect for this, but I'm not feeling it.
Yeah. The
But-
plot makes more sense in the second
Okay.
one.
So
Maybe
there
I
you
should-
go.
maybe I
There's
should
just
give it a
time
go.
to read the second one.
Have y'all read this one?
What one?
Oh no, we
Not
Not
haven't.
yet. I've been told to read it though.
Yeah.
Vanessa's
Is
like,
that on our list,
you
Donna?
need to read it. It is on our list.
Okay.
Yeah,
believe.
it's on my TBR.
Yeah, I don't know this. Is this H.D. Carlton too?
No.
No.
I don't think so.
Okay. Yeah, I've only read Does It Hurt? And I was like,
I like that. We just finished reading that
Mel
last
loves
week.
that book.
Yeah, I liked it.
super impressed. I was thinking so much more when people were talking about the sharks, and I'm just
I
like,
had fun.
I felt like it was redundant in what they kept talking about.
Look, I was kind
That's
of
because they kept talking about
more,
sex.
more stuff happening with the sharks. I was like waiting for it, and then it happened. I was like,
That was it.
okay,
Yeah,
I like it, but I'm like, can we have more?
yeah, and that was pretty long too. Yep. Yeah, I took a screenshot of Satan's Affair and put it on my list. We shall see.
I of course, because I never remember names, I had to look up. It's an older one. Actually, the character's name is Satan. From the Black Jewels series at this point. Like daughter, well, not the first one, but Heir of Shadows.
I heard that one.
Okay,
It's older. They're
I think I read
like
that.
1999 or whatever. The series is one of my favorites of all time. I always go back to it, but it's a lot for a lot of people, but maybe not.
Probably
Everyone's
not for this
obsession
one.
covered.
That's not
Not the people on this screen.
Wow.
but
Sarah's-
it's a lot of what's the word I'm gonna use? There is a lot of plot. This is not like erotica or anything like that. It's a fantasy series that just has a lot of sex in it. I'm not gonna
What series is
downplay
this?
it by saying smut. There's sex there, but there's
So
also
it's kind of like Outlander.
no. Outlander is nice and normal.
nice and normal, but I've watched the show, which I've also read the first book, and you see a lot of booty and boobies in there, okay?
Oh, the Scottish knee porn. Ooh, yes.
I
Give me Jamie in that kilt. Oh.
Jamie can visit me.
I mean, okay,
anytime.
Yeah, there have been times Jamie has done it for me. Book Jamie, real life Jamie. I mean, he's a very good looking man.
Either one of them.
Perfect for the spot. For the character. I just, he's a real person, so
You
it's
can
like
come over here and keep
like.
with the kilt.
But I've read 8 of the Outlander books, and I think I'm up to season 5 of the show. So it's just they're normal people. They have a maybe slightly spicier sex life as a married couple than the average white European couple of that time. But other than that, it's like very normal, and I love them. They're one of my favorite like book couples of all time. But they're very normal, and I love that about them.
I started a book series, and it was great. It's Laura K. Hamilton, and it's the
Another
right now. Anita Vampire Hunter.
The Vampire Hunter, Anita Blake series.
Yeah, right. And the thing, it's like it starts off great. It's like she's doing her thing, whatever, and the book's really good and interesting and paranormal and lovely. And then I think by book 3 or 5, it's just smut. So many orgies of so many things. It's just like, Jesus Christ, you are one woman. You just stop.
What series is that?
Hang on.
That's why it's a poly relationship. That is one of my favorite series of all time. And yes, it does get very, very, very heavily sexual. Again, I'm not going to say smut because I think people kind of underestimate when you say smut for certain books. I'm like, no, there are books in that series where that's pretty much they're just having sex the whole time. I was not upset by it. I was like, you know what?
Actually, there's one other book character that can come and visit me anytime he wants.
I was like,
and that is Eric Northman.
Go ahead, Anita.
I just love the books make sense in the scheme of everything they put in it. Don't go to war and 2 seconds later you're having sex. Like they have it make sense.
No, it wasn't like that. It's urban
like
fantasy.
Storm.
Does it hurt? Has so many sex scenes in it.
It's ridiculous. It comes out of nowhere. It's like, why?
It's just like
like the killer's right there, and you don't even know where he is, but here you are doing it.
You get tired of it. Like, I don't know. I get tired of if you have too much sex in a book. I get tired of it. Like, let's do something else. Let me go to a new book with some new stuff.
I will come back to it. But that's also like when I say I'm a mood reader, that's what I mean as well. Like sometimes I'm in the mood for like straight up just erotica and they're just having sex with a little bit of plot sprinkled in or, porn without plot. But other times I absolutely don't want it. Honestly, I don't like fade to black scenes. I'd rather just skim through the sex scene when I'm not in the mood or not read the book. But I don't want, like, what is it, Jasmine Guillory? Oh, yes. And they start kissing, and then the next thing is we're waking up the next morning. I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Those doors. No, I don't like those. It's actually this book. One of the scenes, okay? They were talking. It was all, like, sexy. It was really nice. But then at the end, I was like, wait. Did they do it or did they dry hump?
Has anyone seen that movie with Rebel Wilson where it's like I don't know what happens in it. I've kind of like deleted half of the movie because it was kind of boring. But she basically wishes to like gets whatever she wants, and she ends up like dating one of the Hemsworth brothers. I think it's Liam. And when it gets down to like doing the sexy scene, it like fades to black, and she just kind of wakes up, and she's just like, what just happened?
I haven't seen that, but yeah, I know what you're talking about.
I stopped paying attention when she became a different person. I don't know who she is anymore. She looks completely different.
She does. I was unaware. I know who she is. I don't follow her like that, so I think I've maybe seen 1 or 2 movies on accident.
Just watch Pitch Perfect, and that's it. You don't need to watch it.
Perfect. She's great.
Okay, who's in there? I just kind of went through some of the comments.
You.
Oh, I'm next.
Yeah.
Let's see what's on my list here. Okay, here's one. Never have I ever drunk Kool-Aid. Oh, yeah.
Drinking it.
What do we got against Kool-Aid?
See, I would have never drank Kool-Aid, but my friend from Florida mailed me some, so I have actually drank Kool-Aid.
I used to drink it all the time, and I used to put too much sugar in it.
That's what you do. That's
how you make it.
That's the nature.
No, even
water
when
and
when I
sugar.
put the sugar in it and like made it normal, how like it says to make it, it was way too sweet.
You can't follow the
No,
directions.
it
You
was-
have to
You
put way
like
too
2
much
cups
sugar
of
in it.
sugar.
Yeah.
No, there was too
I'm
much sugar.
curious. Did they send you like the packets, the old school packets? Because I haven't seen
Yeah.
those in a long time.
Yeah, they sent me like the old several flavors of the old school packets.
Jess, you had kept your hand up. You've never tried Kool-Aid?
Keani just said it. We don't have Kool-Aid
Oh,
in
yeah?
Australia or
Kool-Aid?
New Zealand.
We don't have it in the UK either.
Probably
Somebody
for the
needs
best.
to send it to you.
Oh man,
You
it's
know,
awesome.
America is trying to poison us. Of course, they gave us
Exactly. I mean, I feel like new school Kool-Aid are those little flavor packets where you just add to individual like bottles. But back in the day, you had just the powder with and you make it and you put your own level of sugar. But it's come up in the
Actually,
world.
we've got Costco over here, so I'm wondering where the Costco stocks it.
The first thing I think of though with the Kool-Aid is Kool-Aid Man running into the wall going Kool-Aid,
yeah.
like And then I also think of because there is a smutty book that has to do with the Kool-Aid Man.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I don't remember
Wow.
that,
Vanessa read it in a blog.
yeah.
Wow.
Good team. I have to find that blog.
Oh, I didn't see the comments here. Maggie says I started skipping sexy scenes, especially when they don't make sense with the plot. No one who's running from their lives stops to pump. Exactly right. Oh my gosh, I grew up on it. I did too. You know what? Not just the Kool-Aid packets, but the jug of we call them jungle juice. You know, you have the red. The juice is red, orange drink, not like orange. You know, it's not like hey, this is like orange flavor or like strawberry flavor. It's like can I have the red juice or the orange? It's just a color.
I remember the mystery packet that we had. You didn't know what kind you were getting.
Drank Kool-Aid as a child, then made it with vodka. Yep. There we go. A lot of people do it. That's that new school Kool-Aid. Okay. My doctor let me go. Oh, that'll be something. Watch out for the sugar intake, Keanu. Christmas ornament of Kool-Aid.
From that red number 40 guy.
There we go. Yep. Okay, who's next? Okay.
Oh, is it me?
No.
Never have I ever made a TikTok recipe that totally failed. Lachette.
Oh, sorry.
Because
I thought you were saying that
I'm
you've
gonna
done
eat
it.
my food.
Eating.
I thought that you were saying that she did it.
Sorry.
Seen the hand go down pretty fast. I was like,
Yeah. Also, nobody's done it.
Hold on. Mine hasn't failed. Well, hold up. Never have I ever done
Someone that's failed.
So it's yes if it's failed. No, mine has passed. So I guess it's a yes.
Okay.
Yeah, like not a
one
complete
thing I've
fail.
made was the noodles with the cheese. Like the Mr. Noodles with cheese. My kids loved it, so.
I discovered the air fryer, like it's like an air fryer jumbo stuffed shells, and then the lasagna soup was the best one. Oh,
Mm-hmm.
That
so
sounds good.
yeah. So no fail totally.
I'm glad I'm eating, otherwise that would make me hungry.
Yeah, that
See,
lasagna soup, you gotta try it, change your life. I need to add that to my list again.
first off, I don't have TikTok. But second off, with like all the Facebook reels and stuff like that, like I have lots of them saved, but in order for me to like actually try them, I have to figure out how to make them gluten free and get them to work. And so like spending the money for the gluten free ingredients, like you've got gluten free recipes and stuff like that, and then you look at the recipes and they need this kind of gum, this kind of flour, like 3 other different types of flour and stuff like that. So it's weighing up whether like it's actually worth trying it or not.
You gotta kind of change them up a little bit. Yeah. Unfortunately, they try to use the most richest ingredients to make it look the best, but they be making things look way simpler than they actually turn out to be. But I will say they're good. But IG is good. A lot of times, IG, TikTok, YouTube Shorts, they all feed into each other. So you can, if you don't have TikTok, then you can still, find some good stuff. And there's also just like cooking hack channels and stuff on YouTube as well. But yeah, I've been enjoying some of them recipes. I got rid of TikTok, but I look up some recipes every now and then on IG. Good spots, though. That was a good one. Okay. Who's the next person?
I think that's me. And my question is, never have I ever been so disturbed by a scene in a book that I've had to put it down.
I have. I picked it back up later, but I had to put it down and think and take a little walk. Like horror scenes. Or sometimes, okay, so I don't know if y'all read The Oath by T.M. Richardson. It's romance, but it's like polyamory stuff. There was some sharing. Me and Jaleesa did a buddy read on it a few months ago. We did all 3 of the books in the series, but there was a lot of sex in it. It had a good plot, but lots of sex in it. And there was all of this like sharing of like bodily fluids in weird ways that just made my stomach kind of, and I had to put it down and be like, okay, I'm gonna have to come back. So yes, some things can disturb you.
I haven't. I have not to this day read a scene in a book that has been so disturbing it's made me put the book down. I got close in it, and it's not the scene that everyone's thinking of. It's a scene to do with animals. That is actually the only part of that book that actually made me go,
Are you talking about completely put it down and not come back to it? Like DNF?
No, just had to like take a break from reading.
Yeah, just had to take a break from it.
I've already mentioned
it'd
mine.
be interesting, like if
Fair.
it was bad enough for you to DNF it.
So what is?
I've never had that. I've never had a scene where it's just had to make me put it. I've been bored by scenes and had to put the book down because it was making me go to sleep. But there's never been a disturbing enough scene to make me put a book down.
This is disturbing right here. Well,
yeah, that's nasty.
No.
Jelly.
Yeah, there's some craziness in books sometimes.
What book made you stop, Donna?
I don't think I have it anymore. I don't remember the name of it, but there was a scene. I actually was reading it during sprints the one time, and I actually had to put the book down for like the rest of my sprint because I was like, I can't. And it was, I think, like a young child or like a teenager who like passed away or like did something to themselves in the book, and I just couldn't handle it because like I got my own kids, and I'm like, I think of that. So it really like triggered me, and I was like, oh, hold on, like that was hard.
You know about 13 Reasons Why?
um, yeah, I'm trying to remember what the book was.
Because that would have been traumatizing for a lot of people, like if they didn't know what was coming.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
I stopped reading. So I was reading through the Vampire Chronicles by Anne Rice,
Yeah.
having a great time, loving it. And then I got to like the Vampire Armand, and there was a scene where it was like talking about like I have a thing where it's like you don't do things to children. So I was just like, and we're done
Was
with
that
it.
in the Interview with the Vampire?
No, it was in the Vampire Armand.
Oh, okay. I haven't read that one yet.
Yeah. That's
So like gone through. So Interview with Vampire, Vampire Lestat, Queen of the Damned. Then it's Tale of the Body Thief, Memnock the Devil, and then the Vampire Armand. So
okay. It's been
Wow,
so
you
long
made it
since
that
I've
far into the
reread them.
series. That's wild.
I've read the whole thing.
That's crazy.
That's
I
why
mean, there was some pretty gross stuff that Anne Rice has written, like especially in the Witching Hour.
oh yeah,
I
that's
haven't read that one.
that was just
Lasher.
disturbing.
Yeah,
That was weird disturbing. It was like
yeah.
what?
Like especially towards the end of the Witching Hour, it was like, ugh, okay, that's gone a bit far.
I think that series could count for body horror. I don't know, but I would guess. Yes. It's
Especially
weird.
the end of the Witching Hour, that would, but yeah, that was pretty disturbing.
Okay, so I found the book. It's called The Light Between Worlds.
That sounds familiar.
Yeah.
Yeah, by Laura E. Weymouth. It's a weird name. But it has to do like loss and healing and stuff. But it was the loss that happened. And it was like it was a big thing. And I'm like, yeah, no, I just gotta put it down.
Kiani, what was the book that you threw across the room? I'm assuming it's because of a disturbing scene or something.
Yeah, that's always interesting when you have that bad of a reaction to a book.
See, I wanted to throw a book across the room because of the ending, but it wasn't my. It was Chris's book, and it's one of his favorite like treasured possessions from a child. It's like a very very old book, but the way it ended, I was just like, "Are you freaking kidding me?" Because it was the whole, and it was all a dream.
Oh, I'd be so pissed.
I was so goddamn angry. I was like, "You made me read this."
I hate getting strung along in books or when it's like an open ending. That's the worst, I think. But also when it's like open ending. Like I like a book with like a full resolution.
Yeah.
You know, don't leave me with a cliffhanger at a pivotal point and you didn't say up front. Open ending. And also don't be like, this didn't happen. So
I always think of that trope with Dynasty. So I was too young for Dynasty. Dynasty was off before I was on. For those who don't know, that was a old TV show, I guess, maybe.
Yeah, it was yeah.
I guess it counted as a soap opera, though. I think it came on at night. So, but yeah, but I'm old enough that every meme, though they weren't memes, called memes back then. Back in the day, it was just like, oh, it was all, and then you woke up like Dynasty or this, that, and the other. And, like all the adults around me would be like, oh yeah, that pissed me off, and talk about this, that, and the other, and blah 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 blah. So I always think of that show when people mention books or
And it
stories
was all
that
a
ended that.
dream.
I'm like,
Yeah.
it's wild. Like how many seasons was that? All the drama that I've seen from clips and heard people talk about it, and I'm like, and then it's just like, oh yeah, she just woke up with what she fell from her horse in the first episode or something like that.
So it was a dream. So how did they reboot the show? Didn't they reboot it? Isn't it on Netflix?
Did they reboot it?
I think
That's
I think it's like Dynasty Legacy or something like that.
Yeah, I'm pretty
Um,
sure they rebooted it, and it's like some of the old characters from the original one are in this one. I never knew what the show was about, so I didn't know any of
I
this.
didn't know it was rich people.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, it is. It's rich people down south. Wow, 2017. How did that work out? Well, I have to look. Well, it was canceled, so
Are we surprised? No.
it was on CW. So how did that work?
It's like they keep making crappy shows and canceling good ones.
There you go.
That
That's
bugs
why.
me.
And Tia says, hello, how you doing, girl? Maggie was talking about a book being DNF because it was F8 with a child and there was no triggers. So that should definitely be stated up front.
Mm-hmm.
Hunchback of Notre Dame.
Now, is that because of a disturbing scene, or is that just because it was like 20,000 pages of French history?
Both. Alicia says you have to tie it up real neat with a bow, and thank you. Exactly. I didn't, especially the longer the book. Oh my gosh.
See, I don't mind an open-ended thing where it's like, you know, you can see, like, you can imagine something else for the character or whatever else. I don't mind an open-ended ending. It's just more of a case of when it's just when it's not finished, you know, or the whole, like, you know, it was all a dream. It's like, why? Just write a freaking ending.
Make up one.
Mm-hmm.
Maggie's book was The Toy Box Killer. Okay. Oh, Dynasty considered a soap opera. Maggie said Dynasty was an evening soap opera like Dallas. Yeah, that's what I thought it was. Evening soaps. That's what we called it. Hey, Kiana, how you doing, Miss Lady?
As not to give spoilers, unless you Nell, I'm sending you a thing, I think Instagram, about the new Dynasty and how they made that work.
Oh. Well, Gene said that you're talking about Dallas, not Dynasty. I've never seen either one of those shows, so I don't know.
Maybe I am mixing them up, but this says the Dynasty CW.
Well, no, the show that I was talking about with the reboot, it's definitely Dynasty because Liz Yellis is in it. But I think Gene is saying the show that you were talking about is Dallas.
Yeah, I get that, but I'm now confused because what I just found is related to what we're talking about.
Oh, wasn't the whole thing with Dallas of like who shot JR?
Yeah, that was another thing.
No idea.
It's been a long time. I can't remember.
Before my time.
Excuse me.
Bless you.
Gene said, thank you. Gene says when JR, oh, there we go. JR died. I was alive back then and watched it. I remember watching stuff back in the day. Don't ask me what it was about now. Alicia loved Dynasty, the reboot. Elizabeth Childs.
That's why I want to watch it because Liz Yellis is really good. I really want to see her.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So I figured it out. Dallas ends with the dream, their 9th season. It was all a dream, the first 8 seasons. And Dynasty ended with waking up from a coma. So basically, the 4 seasons were basically a coma dream. So basically the same thing. But
Gene said Dynasty and Dallas are the same, just different scripts. On the reboot, it's the same Dynasty. Recast.
I guess Dallas was the one that was down south. Maybe he wasn't. No, it was Dynasty. They were.
Room was Catcher in the Rye. It was so bad.
Why?
You needed someone to read it with.
So I don't love the book, but I don't understand why so many people hate it. Like,
I loved it.
Really strongly dislike it. Even in class, like so many of my classmates, like I know a lot of them didn't love a lot of the books we were reading in general, but like the hate that particular book gets, even to this day, I don't get. I'm like, okay, you didn't like it, but why do you hate it?
I think a lot of people hate it because it was required reading in school.
I know, but that's like strong dislike, not like So my example, my classmates at the time, they didn't really like most of our required reading in school. We all had to read the same things, and they didn't like pretty much any of them, but hated The Catcher in the Rye. So that's why I'm like, what's the difference? What is it about that book
I'm
that
gonna
people?
look it up.
I don't get it.
Maybe they weren't emo enough to get it.
Let's see. I don't know if I even read that. I just know the name Holden Caulfield, but I don't really know what it was
I
about.
mean, there's not a lot that happens in the book. I know I've seen people go on and on about how pretentious and whatever he is, and I'm like, and let's not act like it's not real. And I
Yeah, it
think
looks like
also
motivation.
being from New York City, I was like, yeah, this type of person exists, and yeah, they could still be depressed. I don't know. It wasn't. I didn't think he did anything worthy of hating the characters.
I thought his perspective was very fascinating.
I live in the
I thought it was
home.
fascinating too. Like I said, I liked it. He's not my favorite like classic character or whatever, but I'm like,
Here's a book where a pet is harmed.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. A lot of people feel very strong about pets and kids. Kill everybody else but pets and kids.
I'll definitely John Wick it over an animal. I'm like, nah.
the whole website does the animal die in this one for so people can prepare themselves before they read or watch something.
Required. I don't know. See, I don't think we ever had required. Maybe we did required reading over the summer. I know there was summer reading. I don't know if it was set books or just a set number. I just read a lot. I remember that. But the books during school was what annoyed me the most. It wasn't the ones in the summer. So.
So just to go back really quick to the previous question, I don't have TikTok, so I was just like, no, I've never failed at anything from TikTok recipes. But we mentioned like what is it? Freaking
Instagram.
There we go. Words. So my recipe for the prompt I got from Instagram, and it was making popsicles. And they come out okay. It's just the popsicle mold I got just has these tiny handles, and so they just pop right out and leave the hole I see in the mold.
That's the issue sometimes with those.
Yeah, I guess that's a fail, but they taste good, and so everybody has told me.
You just need to get some actual popsicle sticks.
A trick for that is to lightly grease. I mean, for one, they definitely gotta freeze more, like be super, super solid. Any softness is not gonna work.
Right,
but grease the mold, they come out easier.
It doesn't taste greasy though.
No, not really. Just a little bit, like just a little light coating.
But you could probably also just like when you want to get them out, dip them in some hot water.
Yeah, I did do that. It's just this is too short. Right, this is a third or a quarter of what the popsicle is.
It's like a kid's like popsicle stick.
Yeah.
We get them here in New Zealand as well.
I had longer ones, like the old-fashioned wooden ones, but I couldn't find it. Of course, when I needed them. But yeah,
I wouldn't call it a fail if it tastes good.
Yeah, that's the same thing. Tastes good. Get a spoon. Okay. I think this is about the Catcher in the Rye.
Yeah.
Supposed to be a quintessential book about teenage experience.
It's literally what makes it a classic. Like, it's not overhyped. Is it a classic?
Somebody decided who in charge that it should be. Put a trigger warning on the chapter where Cajun the cattle pony, a cattle ball. More animals. Okay, who's up next?
Me.
Okay,
so never have I ever laughed so hard I peed my pants as an adult.
What's the adult age?
I'm gonna have to say it.
If it doesn't end in a teen.
Yeah.
In Sydney. And that's all I'm going to say.
I'm just gonna keep my hand down because I can't, college years. I don't remember how old it was.
Yeah, I'm gonna have
Any fun stories to go with this? Is Nell the only one with the cast iron bladder?
The only thing
I've
I
never
look
peed.
at
I've farted,
is
but I've never peed.
the only thing I look at is I'm a mom. I can just sneeze and I pee. Okay,
Same, yeah.
Yeah.
I've definitely done that. Though.
Right there with you. Having children destroys that area.
so any little thing could happen.
It's like when you feel a sneeze coming, you've got to cross your legs and clench.
That don't help. That still don't help. You're still running to the bathroom and then going, shit.
Okay, how about the audience? Y'all go ahead and let us know. Anybody has peed their pants?
As an adult.
It wasn't like, full bladder let go, but also there was
just a little.
Kiana says how much? I think even a trickle counts.
Yeah, a trickle counts.
Yeah, that's what I figured. Alcohol definitely involved. Lots and lots of alcohol. So things are funnier than they normally would be.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
So I can't say that I have. That's a proper way to respond to that question.
Kiana says all the time.
All the time?
Hey, we all have our moments, right? Oh my
I
God.
don't think so.
Bram started doing that. It's so funny.
Oh my God.
Sneeze fart. It's hilarious.
We all have our moments. Things happen that don't
Chronic illness things.
That's why people are
Right.
in the hospital. I let a lot of things go I see in the hospital because sickness, people are at vulnerable moments. So it's not something to make fun of people with, I've seen healthcare workers that were not crass about people, but you gotta let some things go. Somebody poops on the
I find
floor.
it amusing when you're in hospital and you see other people and they're being right, like, when the nurses are coming and check if this, it's just like, bitch, they've seen everything and worse. They don't care.
Yeah. Some patients don't either. So like,
Nurses are people too, and some of them have their own issues, biases and things like that. So we can't paint them all as all good angels and nor evil.
They're human. Just be professional. That's all I know. Regardless of what your thought is, be professional. You can always talk about it later. I have tons of crazy stories, but in front of patients, I'm like, it's okay. We'll take care of you. That's what I tell patients.
Laughed till I cried out with both ends. Nice.
It happens. Okay, who's next?
The shit.
Never have I ever picked up a drunk from the sidewalk.
Picked up a what?
Drunk. A drunk.
Oh, but it said a drug. I was like, wait a minute.
Does that include ourselves?
Not recommended.
Does that include ourselves and our friends, or just a random drunk person?
And what do you mean by picked up? Like, non-sexual.
Help
like
up.
Pick them up off the ground because they fell, or like pick them up in a car?
Not yourself.
Okay, not yourself.
No. So let me say it again. Don't include yourself, and it's never have I ever picked up a drunk or drunk person from the sidewalk.
I've picked up drunk friends all the time.
I mean, maybe the floor. I'll include that. It might not have been the sidewalk, but the floor. Yes, I will say yes.
I don't think so.
It's a rite of passage sometimes.
Again, are we talking about like picking up, like hooking up, or are we talking?
No, just picking up, helping up.
You can save that for later, Donna.
I've done it. That's why I was just trying to figure out what do I do. I was drunk though, so it kind of.
I will say, one of my friends, the one you not expect it from. I walked out of the club and my man was like spread eagle on the
Starfish.
New York City side. I have pictures.
Evidence.
I mean, it was summertime. It wasn't like 100-degree plus or whatever, but it was hot. So he was just out there. I was like, oh wow, you was having a good time. Oh yes. There was a lot of negotiating and arguing and bribery to get him off the sidewalk.
Yeah, I'm still trying to figure out if I've actually helped somebody, but half the time I was probably wasted as much as them.
I mean, I didn't say I was sober.
Mhm.
I think
You
I
were.
might have tried and I might have fallen with them
Mhm.
on the floor or the sidewalk or the bridge, wherever we were. The front yard.
I think it makes a bigger. Oh look, this one came out whole.
Yay!
My fresh fruit popsicle. Um, I think it makes a bigger impact when we're talking about outdoors, so not like the floor. So I mean, bar and club
I've
floors
got
are
a specific
disgusting.
picture that I'm trying to find. That one of us fell down and then we all fall down. I'm trying to find this picture.
I can't think of any situations where I was like out partying or at a club or a frat party or anything and like somebody fell. Like somebody that I was with fell and I like had to help them. I don't think that that's ever happened.
So I don't think that's ever happened for me either. I'm pretty sure that man got down on the ground and just laid down. He didn't fall. He just put himself. He was like, you know what? I'm tired of standing.
Nope, can't
It's like,
relate.
I live here now.
Because he damn sure wanted to stay there. And I was like, sir.
Be like, I'm not picking you up.
Yeah, I've had sorority sisters do stuff like that, but I'm like, I'm not picking you up. You got 2 legs. You better get your ass up. We leaving. Get in the car, or you can stay here.
I put it
I'll
because
drag
that's
you.
the time. That's the only time I've done that. I mean, I'm aware I'm pretty privileged in this city, so we don't have to drive. We can get on the subway and they're everywhere, or a bus. And so I was never that friend who accepted people getting so drunk, like they become impossible to move or coordinate. I'd be like, do not get so effed up that you need my help because I will leave you here.
Mm.
Yeah,
I've
I
I'm
had
hate
like,
when
you
I
can do
get
whatever
that
you
with
want to do.
my
You're gonna get
friends.
left if
I
you're not in the car.
apologize.
my close friends, they never got that way. I mean this one experience. Um, but I've had like people I was friendly with and we hung out and I'm like, get into garbage cans and do all kinds of other nonsense. I mean, half the time it's like you're not that drunk, you're faking it for attention. But the other half, it's like
That's too much
I
right
know
there.
what's going on in your life, but like you knew when you left the house that Lachette was not going to be the one like carrying you or picking you up. No,
It's
no.
just like I'm not riding down like
I'll call
that.
you a cab. I'll call you or somebody else. But Lachette is not picking you up.
Yep.
Kiana helped the person get back from the cruise ship because you want to make sure you leave on time. What is
Hmm.
that? Is there somebody now?
Was
Somebody on the ground? Are they in the trap?
no, that's a lot of people piled on
Oh,
one
okay.
Oh
person.
goodness.
Oh my God.
Oh, okay.
It's a drunk pile.
So
No.
one fell down, then we all fell down, then we went picture.
Hey, you're all in it together, okay?
Hmm.
Maggie started doing that when I was
Okay.
15, over 40 years ago.
Yep.
These are probably more alcohol involved. Yeah, I hate when I get so out of control to where I can't take care of myself. That's not that's not a look for me that I like. So if that happens on a few occasions, I've like apologized to all of my friends and didn't drink for a minute because
No,
it's just embarrassing.
See,
I
there was
remember.
this one where it's like I started doing. I got down on the floor and was doing yoga because I got indigestion, and then everyone just decided to jump on because why not?
You listen to your body. That's what
Hmm
you do.
Look at Maggie. Maggie's chasing down drunk people. You run
Oh,
into the woods, I'm gonna let you stay there. I'm not chasing after you. That's a wrap right there.
I'm not a
Ask
wood
man,
girl.
I'll chase them.
Maggie, where you from? Are you used to the woods? Tijuana. That's all I need to see is Kiana.
I hope my man, the cruise workers, get a wheelchair for her. Well, that's
Boyfriend,
good. When you leave on time.
boyfriend was not helping her. Damn.
I think
But
it's
to be
always
fair,
interesting
you
to people
just
that
had
get
to
drunk
start
on
that
the
with
cruise.
we were in Tijuana. It's like
Yeah,
yeah,
that's
okay,
what I said. Up to Tijuana.
yeah, makes
Never
sense.
been there, but I've heard so.
Don't get too inebriated in other places you don't know. If you're gonna get toasted, I think you should do it in familiar places.
Hmm
But somebody may not be there to help you. Or you'd be surprised when you need help the most and people kind of disappear.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
hopefully she's good. Hopefully look at that man. Ring around the rosy.
What?
Oh no.
We all fall down.
Oh yeah.
My brain went to the original point of the song, which was the rosettes from what's that disease? That's why I was like,
I was singing in my head.
Yeah.
Ooh, I'm not trying to clean vomit up.
no.
Mm-mm.
If you're
No.
sick, maybe if you're drunk
The
or
plague. You're talking about the plague.
Mm-hmm.
Bring around the rosy.
yeah, there
Yeah.
we go.
I've
I'm
seen
pretty
these
sure
cruise
that's the
ships wait
bubonic plague.
on
Yep.
people, and I'm like, nope, we're leaving on time. Leave them. They'll learn. Drink one pub all to my drinking at home, and it's usually wine. Smart. That way you don't have to. It's cheaper too. Mike says my elderly dad fell on the top of the stairs, and he managed to catch himself upright. And he was stuck there though. A job to get him upright again. Oof, that sounds like some madness right
Yeah,
there.
it's the word.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, this lady lost her ID and everything. Oh no. Oh no.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
the plague.
anyway. But yeah, that's when my brain went
The
first.
Black Plague and the bubonic plague the same thing.
Um, possibly.
But yeah, there were like red splotches that would just like rashes that would appear and stuff like that.
Yeah.
A tissue, we all fall down.
Okay, who's up?
Donna.
What's going
Okay, I'm not being naughty. Don't worry. Well, I guess it depends on who you're talking to, but never have I ever annotated or marked up my books.
on? I have
Not
that.
not
Does that
yet.
include like Kindle?
Well, does writing on
I
like
like-
the hang on, so the like this part, does that count? Like writing like this book belongs to, because I did that when I was a kid,
No,
but
I'm
I've never
thinking more
actually like
Your hands
annotated.
on my book.
Yeah.
I've written notes. But
I haven't done it yet, but I plan to.
I'm assuming we're not including like textbooks and workbooks and things you're supposed to write
I
in.
mean, like,
Oh my god.
Oh yeah, that's serious
No.
there. Nah, I haven't
or
done that.
like,
Not me.
hold on.
Yeah, I
Oh,
plan
that's
on doing
cute.
this.
I don't
Oh, wow.
really buy books, but the ones I have, I've done like on one book.
I haven't done it, but I plan on doing it.
I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 over here, and all over there.
See, Donna, are you going to be part of the traveling book club that I'm trying to do, where it's like I read a book, annotate it, and then send it on to the next person, and then they annotate it and send it on to the next person?
That's
I
cool.
can be.
Yeah, I've seen
Okay.
it.
I don't think I met, like, is there a sign up?
Yes,
Okay, I'll sign up for it.
there's a video on my channel about it.
Okay,
It's got the linkies in.
I'll sign up for it.
I'm gonna keep my hand down. I can't remember, but I feel like I probably have.
I can't. Just the thought of writing on a book gives me like so severe anxiety.
You
See,
should see
that's
my
that's
Starless Sea.
that's me.
Yeah.
But that I did this, like I said, we'll do this traveling book club, and then I was like, crap, I've never annotated a book before. So I was like, okay, I'll get another copy of Percy Jackson and the Lightning Thief, and I will annotate that one because
You don't
I
have
know
to
That would
that.
be
write
the
on the
only way
pages.
I would annotate is if I had 2 copies of a book.
Oh, I've
You
got
don't have to
several
write on the
copies.
pages. You can write on sticky notes.
Yeah, I was about
Yeah,
to say,
I know, but it's just that I've never even done that. I've never like annotated a book like that, so I'm just like, okay.
But
And I
then,
got
like to me, like sticky notes looks untidy, and it looks like
Think
you're
so?
doing like a school project.
Oh.
I mean, technically,
But
It's
that's
like
like just a
faded 'cause it's
personal
so
opinion.
light.
Like this is my neuro
I mean, but you
spiciness.
probably can't see, but like this is like pink. Where is it? Like
Mhm.
this row is like pink, but like don't look at the tabs. But like if you have like clear sticky notes, like this whole thing is a sticky note. This whole page is a sticky note,
oh,
but it's just clear.
I like that idea.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
I've heard of it got
I
that big.
could probably do that.
I wrote all the notes in the ends of them, and I highlight, I color, I draw.
That
see,
gives
that's
me
what
such bad anxiety.
yeah, that's what I have, but that's what I'm wanting to do with the traveling book club because it's like I've never
Right.
annotated before, so I'm like I'm
Books
trying to push myself into doing it.
If I was gonna start, I have a physical copy of Piranesi now.
Hmm.
If I could get a second physical copy, then I would. But like that would be the book that I would start with.
I've seen
You could
people
probably
do that.
start with doing like pencil if you really want to like start writing into it. If you don't want the stickies, but you want to start, then pencil is probably the best bet.
Yeah.
There you go. I see
That's
that
why
in
I started
library
with.
books a lot.
Really?
Yeah, well, people have written something and then they kind of scratched it. I'm like, okay, well, I see it. Only books I've ever really annotated it is
You gotta be
the
light. You gotta be light about it.
yeah. Yeah, I steer clear of it. I have a little planner, so I write if I have notes about it or something. Like I just write it in my little reading journal thing.
So yeah, I tend to write notes, but I'm just like I'm trying to push myself to actually do it because I wanna, you know.
Like even I have 2 books I've annotated and I didn't like them. The one book actually, Anna tends to always make me want to read it out loud because I gave it 1 star, and
What book is that?
the smexy scenes. No, okay, hold on. 'Cause, you know, I gotta post this. It's called As Seen on TV.
Mm.
Yep.
Oh.
Anna introduced me to Carlos Ruiz,
I don't know this one.
the Library of Forgotten
yeah,
Words. Or something.
yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Let me find a line from this book. Okay, there's one, and it says, "A dog who'd be so lucky to have his dick in my mouth."
Okay.
Excuse me.
All right, wait.
What?
Who started this?
Are we talking about a dog?
Let's see. There's
That's a lot
another
of
one.
confidence.
What is that
You
sentence?
could
Put that out
probably
of
make
context just
picking,
intrigues me more.
you could probably make picking your nose sexy, but please don't try.
Ew.
No. I've got an aversion to snot. No, thank you.
That's why I was like, this book is just a pain. And then there's, "My name is Finn Adams, and I'd like to fuck you now. Is that okay?"
No.
Thank
What
you
did
for
she say?
asking.
Or what did they say? Yes or no?
Courtney.
Yes, they said yes, please.
Manners.
Well,
You do like
Yeah. See, that's good
as long as
consent.
you make it worth the while.
That is a lot of confidence. Although I feel like depending on who it is that says that, I might would also like if it was like Chuck Bass. If Chuck Bass walked in here right now and said, "I'm Chuck Bass, can I fuck you now?" Absolutely.
Yes.
The
No,
character from Gossip Girl.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, did you
To be
watch
fair,
it?
I could see him doing that.
Exactly.
I
I
mean,
always
he
think that books is interesting. That is always worth the while. Like, let's give me a scene where the guy's all, hung and all this other stuff, and let it not be worth the while. But they always make it the best. I'm like, come on now, let's be realistic.
Mhm.
Or there's this one. Listening to Finn talk about installing drywall got me wet like foreplay.
I like a productive man.
I mean, if that's what you're into.
yeah.
Sorry, but
The grass,
you
I'm
know,
put
you know
out.
the scene in
The grass and
Family
weeds,
Guy.
flower beds, it's on.
The scene in Family Guy where I think it's like Brian's got the newspaper and he's just like, no.
Oh
Just like,
God.
yeah. I just feel like that doing that to that author. Just stop it. No.
Like I
Yeah, being
feel
that
in real
it
life, but
actually says
I want to read that.
it says adorable and steamy fun that's full of Gilmore Girl vibes.
Ew,
All right,
no.
your alley now.
I think I have that. I think I actually have that book. I don't.
They
Hang on.
tried for Gilmore Girl vibes and missed the mark.
Failed.
Just no. But wait, now have you finished watching Gossip Girl?
Oh yeah.
I will highlight
Years ago.
ebooks.
And we're
I
still
will
like,
highlight ebooks because I know that the highlighting, like, I can take out if I want
Do you know?
to.
Do you know? I've actually read that book.
This one?
you don't remember? You blocked it out.
Pretty much.
What I think is interesting is I think Maggie was bringing up the point earlier about like digital highlighting and stuff and annotating versus physical. Do y'all think that physical is better for annotating?
No, I think I
feel like
prefer
it-
digital.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, I think I prefer digital only because it's quicker, so I feel less taken out of the story. Whereas, like drawing my hand across the page to underline or highlight or put a washi tape, post-it note or whatever have you takes longer, so it will take
Yeah.
me to the story.
And you find it quicker too. If you go back, you can find it quicker.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And you can post it on Goodreads. Let's see here. Maggie says, if it clicks. Then again, I am the kind of person who will buy a loaner paperback copy of a book I love and hoard the hardcover in my personal library. Oh, we got a lot of books. Amen at that. Amen at that. Yeah, the transparent paper posting is awesome. I never heard of that before. Tabs, post-it notes in my book, especially the clear sticky notes. Bought transparent posters but haven't used them yet. Take a little while. Here, there we go. Here is the Traveling Book Club announcement. Check it out. Check it out.
Thank you, Kristina.
Kristina, what's animal abuse? Wait, what?
Probably putting the dog's dick in your mouth.
Oh,
Yeah, it
so
was
she was really talking about a dog
And a pony. Yeah, and some books earlier.
sentence. It was just a bad sentence. Period. That's why I was like, what are we talking about?
Oh, you're talking about in Donna's book. I get you. Okay.
yeah, it was just a dog who'd be so lucky to have his dick in my mouth. So it's probably talking about a man that's a dog,
Okay. Oh, okay.
not an actual dog. But I don't know.
See, I'm glad that my brain's deleted the fact that I read this book.
And now upset with you from you don't remember.
That is just for a lot of things, Maggie. I'm just going through some comments. There we go. Oh, Tia was sick and now is feeling better. Good more girl vibes. She said that is definitely not it. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I'm still. I mean, I do a lot of digital reading too, but I'm still of the, if I'm going to write some stuff, I like a good pen and paper. So I would probably, if I annotated, would be more.
See,
of Holler.
When I got the idea in my head to do all the annotating, it's like I went on a stationary, like, you know, binge. I was just like, I'm going to get all the tabs and all the pens and all the things. And now I'm just like, and now I've actually got to do the thing.
Yeah. Well, that's just like how buying books and reading them are two separate hobbies.
Oh,
Like,
yes,
true.
and using
Yeah.
it, like I cannot. The stack of stickers I have from just like the past 2 months is like this. I need to actually use them.
one day, one day.
Yeah.
Okay, who's next?
You.
Oh, I am. Oh, okay. Let's see. That's a interesting one. Okay. Never have. Let me put my chips down. Sorry, I'm eating here. Oh, okay.
It looks so long.
We
Alright.
look like students
Never,
asking a teacher for
yeah, well, I'm looking at all the ones I have. Seeing was great because we're definitely not gonna be able to go through all of them. I got to get out of here around 11, so that's like 30 minutes. Okay. Never have I ever fallen asleep during exercise, stretch, whatever.
What's whatever?
Like whatever in physical activity. Like never have I not
How would you do that?
intimacy, but you know, like you're doing some sort of exercise.
Yeah, I fell asleep during meditation.
Yeah, I was going to say, would meditation
Okay, you
count?
can say that. You can do that one because that's
Oh,
another
okay, then
thing.
yeah.
Okay.
So never have I fallen asleep during exercise, stretching, or meditation.
Meditation, yes.
Mhm.
Exercise, I don't know how you would fall asleep doing exercise.
I don't think you're doing it right if you don't fall asleep. At least in the beginning. For meditation.
Mine just
See,
never goes to
having-
sleep.
Having ADHD and insomnia, trying to meditate is insane. But when it's guided meditation, it's not so bad because you've got someone telling you what to do or talking you through the process. So yeah, I've managed to
Oh, I
fall
still
asleep through
fall
like a
asleep.
guided meditation.
That's true.
I fall asleep doing guided meditation all the time.
It's fine. You can work in your sleep. I have fallen asleep during meditation. I've fallen asleep during yoga, usually like corpse pose, but you're just lying there. So
Well, you can do corpse pose after you've actually done your workout, so you know your body's all warm and stretched and limber and everything.
So
So
that you can just lay down, do corpse pose, and be like, okay.
exactly.
Imagine doing that in a class. They'll be like, time to wake up, class is over.
Not a public class. So I first learned yoga in high school, and my yoga teacher was really good about that. And I later learned that compared to a lot of the public classes, yoga teachers, she was a little bit better because it's like, yeah, I expect you guys to fall asleep. You're high schoolers, you're doing a lot, and this is one of the few times you get to relax. So it's fine if you fall asleep. You haven't failed if you fall asleep. We did meditation in that class as well. So
I'll be like, nap time. I'm gonna take this.
has anyone actually passed gas while doing like an yoga class?
Yes.
Probably.
I've never done it, but I've been around someone that did. I was just like, oh my god, I would be mortified. I mean, I know it happens, but
If anything, it'd be silent but deadly.
like, yeah, it's definitely embarrassing, but it's also like you can only twist your body up so much, and like there's air in there.
Look, if you see someone, fall beside me, but you don't hear anything, you know what happened.
Wow.
Just ignore it. Be like, I hope you feel better.
It's like bloodshot eyes and just
Here,
choking. Like,
you needed the sleep. Go.
I've been in those cycling classes, and I'm like, nothing is more disgusting than that. Like you turn on the lights, and the bikes are like covered in sweat.
Mhm.
It
What
rained.
happened to the
You
wipe down?
almost need like
Well,
gloves,
I mean,
like
they're
medical
taking
gloves.
down, but like, I'm like, I think that's why they do turn off the lights in those cycling classes.
Mhm.
You don't actually want to see what you're sitting on.
And you know, with some people it's worse, but like, oh my God, there's some dudes. And I'm just like, how do you have any moisture left in your body? There's a puddle underneath. It's disgusting. And nothing is worse than that to me. So I'm like, go ahead, fart in yoga. You're not that's the
I've seen worse. Don't worry.
okay. I'm not worried. I don't want to see worse. But also, yeah, wipe down your equipment.
Mhm.
Not
Don't
just
be
with
nasty.
towel, please. Use the disinfectant wipes they have. Please.
There you go. Use them. Use them. Maggie's falling asleep while walking, stood against the wall. Yeah, keep upright and walking. Don't lean against the wall. If I did corpse pose, I wouldn't wake up. Is there such thing as corpse pose?
It is, yeah. That's
It
what I
is.
said.
Oh, okay.
You're just laying on your back in a
I
relaxed
have to
state.
do that.
I mean, that's the westernized name for it. The Sanskrit is not does not translate to corpse pose. But
On a Harati, I sleep nightly trapped between the hubby fart factory and the dog fart factory. I know how I can survive it. Chemical gas is back. But they're so cuddly, both of them. Gotta have a trade-off, okay?
the dog also male because it's probably like, you know.
Dog farts are evil, though.
They're silent.
Oh
Yeah,
my
they are.
gosh, they truly
dog, I
are.
can hear it.
Especially
He's
if they
a little
decide to lay beside you, but their butt's right by your face.
Mhm.
Or steal your pillow and
That's
have their
creepy.
butt buried.
I don't like pets on pillows. Pets
Yeah,
like to be comfortable too.
Like
the
literally,
first
my
time a
dog's
dog
head's right
farted.
here. His butt's
Yeah.
here. There's my
Where you
pillow.
pillow it. Yeah.
He's like, you talking about me?
Blanket on top of that
No.
sucker.
The first time my dog farted, he's just like, he looked at his ass as if to say, what the hell was that?
Don't you
I was
think
just
it's
like,
funny when they wake up and because they farted or something? I'm like, that was you.
He looked at his butt and he was like, what was that? And I'm like, disgust is what it was.
Hey, take the good with the bad, okay?
Mhm.
Hello, Rebecca. How are you doing today? Welcome to the fold. Welcome to boot camp. Okay, who's next? Who's next?
I think
No.
me.
Miss
Okay.
Nell.
Never have I ever.
This is last round. by the way.
Never have I ever signed up for a gym membership or signed up for a yoga class, spin class, whatever, and didn't show up.
At all, ever?
Yeah.
I
Never
showed
signed
up
up for one. So I'm
It's a little hard over here
an
because with our
angel with this
gyms,
one. I got a halo. I've never signed up.
I've never signed up.
you've just never signed up.
Just never signed up.
That's so disciplined, Donna. Like I know myself. I'm not
Look, my workout is my man, so
There you go.
rub it in.
But have
I
you
mean,
ever signed up for that and it didn't come through at the end? Maybe you fell asleep.
I think most of us have done
I mean,
I made some promises at the beginning of the day, but I didn't know I would be tired.
You signed
General
up, but you
sense.
didn't show up.
See,
general sense.
I think we've all done that one. We've all just been made promises. We're like, oh yeah, the things I'm
General
gonna do
sense,
to you
I
later.
signed a paper to Miriam. That's technically signing up, I guess. To yeah. So if that counts, then yes, I have.
consider. You write checks that your ass couldn't cash.
Well, then no, because I have all the money. So
There you go. Rebecca says it's not.
it goes where it needs to go. In my
I've never
pocket
signed up
and
for
on
a
my
gym
bookshelf.
bag, but that's like, oh no. Yeah. See, that's why I work out at home. I always show up, just not consistently. I'm bad with classes. I just rather go on my own. I'm a child, by the way. Oh, okay.
Oh.
Sorry about that. Well, hello. We are having an adult group discussion here. So it's not labeled as 18 plus, but it might be. Or rethink being in the chat here.
Oh wow.
You have been warned. I'm just letting you know. Alicia says, then you should be here. I think you should not be here.
Yeah, I think it's you shouldn't be here.
There we go. Okay, who's next? Who's next we got here?
Just
Me, considering there is an 11-year-old, I will keep it to something simple-ish. This is mainly for people that have a YouTube channel. Never have I ever considered opening a second channel that isn't book related.
Consider.
Oh, never have I. So yes, hold on. So yes,
if you have considered opening a second channel that is not book related, put your hand up.
yeah.
Wow, do all the plain sight.
Wait. Repeat. I have considered it and then decide not to every time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
if you've considered it, pop your hand down. Yeah.
I created it, but I didn't do anything with it. It's just still sitting there with nothing on it and no subscribers, and I've never promoted it. It's just something named.
So what kind of content?
Huh?
Like, were you considering what kind of content?
It's
were
kind
you
of like calming type relaxation stuff, but it's not like I
Right.
know anything about that. I'd be bold anxiety.
I had 3 ideas. I know that's a lot, but I technically started one where I was doing dancing.
Oh, cool.
My dancing's not the best. It's technically pole type style. You know what I mean.
It'd be like Lego.
Anyways, one video actually got like 11,000 likes, and I didn't know what I was doing back then, and it wanted me to do that whole you get money from it, and I said no.
Missed
Like, I don't know
opportunity.
it was the beginning of it, so I didn't know. The second one is a Sims channel. I wanted to play Sims, and
Yeah, that would be cool.
and then the third one was actually last year. I wanted to do one for like anxiety and mental health, and like kind of showing what I go through with having anxiety and being a mom and stuff. So
yeah.
So where can I find this poll video?
I want links, please. Thank you.
Yeah.
I want to be
I tried
2001.
poll, and
the
oh my
issue is
god,
they took the
best
song
workout
down.
I've ever had in my life.
I'll watch it with no sound. That's fine.
Just let us know what the
I'll
song
send it
is.
to you.
I can play it myself.
Links, please. Thank you. Thank you.
You can share it in the chat.
Chat. I'll go find it.
Well, I not long ago considered starting because y'all know that I'm celiac, and so I considered starting a channel, like a cooking channel, sharing gluten-free recipes, stuff that's naturally gluten-free, and stuff that has gluten-free alternatives but isn't going to break the bank. The only reason why I haven't started that yet is I need to get recipes like down. And like I need to be able to have the space and like the camera work I find awkward. I've tried filming like my cooking experiences before, how some like reels have done it, and like it just doesn't work for me. I'm either about to drop the spoon or I'm about to drop my phone. So I need to get that set up, right? But yeah, I do want to promote like naturally gluten-free things, and then I want to use that channel to start approaching like cooking competitions that have like my main one being MasterChef, because they don't have an allergy week, so they don't promote allergy-free like products and stuff like that. And so yeah, I want to challenge cooking shows in the future to have an allergy week. It doesn't have to be gluten. It could be dairy free. It could be egg free if you really want to make the contestants cry. It could be soy free. You know, sulfite free. There are so many different allergens out there.
Yes.
So yeah, and then I, like Donna, I also considered starting a gaming channel, but I can't game for too long, otherwise I start getting migraines.
But you were gonna say, like Donna, you were gonna start a pole dancing channel.
I have to start a new one.
Honestly, the best exercise in the world.
I actually
did it for,
want
like,
to go
4
and do
weeks.
sessions for the pole dancing. Like I've seen them around, and I was like, I should do that.
I was like, I know how to do
You
that.
should.
The thing to remember though, if you do start pole, is you will bruise.
Yeah.
And remember that, because it's gonna, like, for quite a while your skin gets used to it, it's gonna hurt.
Yeah.
Can I post this link here, Donna?
Sure.
I just wanted to ask.
11-year-old, this is not for you.
This is not for you.
No.
This is
Should not be here.
This
I
is
think they
like-
said that. Hold on,
Yeah.
let me go back.
This was from 2011.
Oh,
Oh my God,
That's how long that video is. That's how long ago. It's yeah.
oh, it's only 2 minutes. That's not bad.
Yeah. Yeah. Don't judge.
We are not judging here.
Oh.
It's another. All right. Okay. Sorry, I will leave. Okay, thank you very much. Grown women talking about grown things. Thank for yeah, I appreciate you being honest about your age. So that's good. Yes. Her name is Jasmine. There we go. What was it again? Using my mom's account. Bye, Rebecca. Jasmine, Rebecca. Dang, I haven't considered that. Might just end up being under this channel. Yeah. There's a lot
I'm gonna say.
of channels.
If anyone is new here, my channel is not a bookish channel. It's whatever Lachette decides to put up on the channel.
Fair.
It's under my business name. And to be perfectly honest, this year I have not been posting a lot. But I do have bookish content, but that was like the last type of thing that I added. So I have some herbal stuff. I have some witchy things. I have both of which are related to my Etsy shop and the things I sell. And then I have the tarot stuff, which is also a service I offer in my Etsy shop. So I'm trying to think what else. Oh, I have a lot of journaling stuff as well. That's what I started my channel with, like bullet journaling monthly, kind of a way to keep up with business. And I branched out into other like journal stationery related content as I came across it. They have their own challenges and things like that that I like participating in for those as well. Same thing with the tarot. Like there's tarot tube, there's journaling, booktube. So I just like have my friends and buddies that I talk to about that content. I'm like, watch what you want to watch, don't watch what you don't want to watch. And every year, at least once, and sometimes every season, I'm like, maybe I should make separate channels for all of this. And then I'm like, no.
Yeah.
That's a lot of
Do
work.
you like put them all onto playlists?
Did I post over here? Did I post over there? And no.
Just confusing sometimes.
Because that's a good way to like separate if you've got like different content on your channel, like playlists.
Yeah, and I know that, and I do that with the playlist, but I know it hurts my channel because it's not super focused, so it's not bookish, so I don't get as many people that will subscribe to me for just the bookish content or just the tarot content, because it's diverse, less people subscribe. It is what it is. But I still consider it every year.
Does
Like,
everybody else see the comments here?
I got
yeah.
a message saying to reload the page,
Mm-hmm.
and then it's
Oh.
just gonna
Me too.
the last message that I see is the laughing face from Atia,
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I see
but
Donna's
and then
video.
something just came through from
I
Alicia.
can't see anything. It's just completely
I
blank.
can't see anything now. I will say, Atia, if you need any help with like gaming setup or whatever else, just DM me because I've got mine all set up. That's how I do the Jackbox thing. I do it through the Switch. So
Oh.
if you need any help with the gaming setup, I can help.
And Jess, if you have, I don't know if you live by yourself or you have like
I
close.
don't. I live with my mom.
Oh, okay. I mean, I don't know what your relationship is like, but I mean, you can ask her to hold the camera if you have the tripod
Yeah,
or
I mean, we
overhead.
have a pretty good relationship, but she's not really the like type of person that would be like
Mhm.
sit
Oh,
there and
okay.
like hold the camera and stuff like that. I'll figure it out because it's something I really want to do. Like, I'm seriously considering going back to uni to become a nutritionist.
Mhm.
Oh,
Just kind of debating whether I do that full time while I'm working part time and managing a YouTube as
yeah.
well. But I really do want to create gluten-free content that is
Mhm.
accessible for everyone because there are foods that are naturally gluten-free, but then there are some foods that are, it's really confusing that they've got gluten in them and you wouldn't even know.
Yeah.
Um,
That's true. A
so
lot of people
teaching
have
people how to
allergies.
read ingredients is probably going to be one of my main things.
Yeah. I mean, I could see that being very helpful and informative.
Mm.
Like, I know how to do the overhead setup because that's what I do for the journaling and planning. But if you're like cooking, I'm not exactly sure it would be the same.
An overhead setup would be good. I think I need to find a tripod.
Yeah.
See, I've got a new tripod where it's like on a bar, so you can
Yeah.
have it set up like a normal, or you can have it where it's like flat, so it'd be like an overhead shot.
Yeah. You just gotta make sure it's weighted properly.
Mm-hmm.
And then it depends on your space. But like, I'm thinking about like, I couldn't do with what I have, which is relatively cheap, like over a stove or an oven, for an example, because I'm like, then you're adding in heat, which is a whole other situation.
But
Have you ever
like, if you
watched the? So have you ever watched the YouTube show like Anti Chef? Because he does a lot of cooking videos, but he doesn't do like the overhead shot. He's like got the main camera like basically on him while he's like doing the ingredients and stuff, and then he's got like I think like a smaller one that like he'll bring towards the stove, but he won't, so you can actually see what's happening, but it's not like a full overhead shot. Maybe watch one of his videos or whatever, just to look at kind of like the setup.
What's it called? Anti-chef.
Anti-chef, yeah.
Okay, I'll look him up. Yeah,
I'll tell
because
you.
that is something I'm quite serious about. I don't want to give up my booktube channel because I love all you guys, but like, as far as going into nutrition and kind of teaching people, getting people back to the basics. Yeah, I think that's really what I want to work towards.
That's a
If
good
not
goal,
this
and
year,
it's
then next
something
year.
personal to you too. So you have that passion and drive for it. I like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So that's a much needed area though, as well too. So that's always good. I saw this thing once that talked about like YouTube, like when you're starting a channel, it should always answer a question. And there you go. That'd be good. I did check
like,
about it.
I was going to say, I feel like you need to make content that you're passionate about.
I'm going to post this. Is this okay?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Anti-chef. If it spills. I had
People
chickens.
are saying that it would be a good idea. Okay, I promise I will work towards it. If it's not this year, it probably won't be this year, then it'll be next year. And I might even do like little baking things, like book-related baking things,
That'll be
to
fun.
kind of
I'll
start
put that
playing
out.
around with it.
Mhm.
There we go. And then here's the empty shelf there. Okay, so let's finish this round and then we'll be getting out of here. So who was next?
Paula.
Me?
Oh, we're already at the end. Okay, here we go.
Oh, let's see.
I think it was-
Mm.
Paula's like me. Which are the questions?
I'm just trying to like find like, you know, never have I ever questions. They're all rude.
Can be fun, but not so rude.
Never have I ever pretended not to see someone so I didn't have to talk to them.
All the time.
I avoid people with the plague, okay?
That's a given, man.
Mm-hmm. That's just
We should
like
do this. Make it an X. How about this? Let's modify it. Have you ever pretended not to see an X in order not to talk to them?
I've never seen an ex in the wild. Once I'm done with you, I'm done with you, and I never see you again.
shoot. Be gone forever.
I have an interesting story. So I work at a hospital. Right? Well, this is at a different hospital I worked at, right? And me and this guy were no longer dating, right? And he had a twin brother. There was a guy in the hospital that I thought looked like them, but I didn't even know about it because I don't be looking at patient records. You're not supposed to. Anyway, but I found out because I saw them in the consultation room. It was like an uncle or grandpa that, was having some issues. So they called the whole family. So I'm walking. They'd had the consultation and they're walking back. And they're in front of me. And it's like some guy holding hands. And then there's the twin. So I don't know if it was him with the new girlfriend or if it was his brother with a girlfriend and him right next to it, because you can't really tell them apart. But I'm looking and I'm like, okay, I'm in back of them, like maybe 10 feet. Hopefully they're going to get out of this door and then I don't have to see them since they're in front of me. But they couldn't get out the door. You needed to badge. And I'm behind them. I'm like, should I just veer off or should I do what I'm supposed to do and help people? So I'm like, they're sitting there trying to get out. I'm like, oh, let me help you, right? And so the guy does this, and he's like, does a double take. And I'm just like nobody said that. We just smiled. And then kept walking. I was just like, that's the first and only time I think I've ever randomly ran into an ex.
Wow.
Wow.
Generally don't do that.
Yeah, that does not happen to me.
I don't have many exes. I don't know if this counts. It was years and years and years later that I saw them outside of my job. I used to work for the parts department. So they weren't stalking me or anything. They were just in a public park. And I was
Be like, this is legit, you promise.
oh, that's him. Okay, well, I'm just gonna go out the other path. That was okay.
Yeah, I'm looking high when it comes to an ex. I just don't care to talk.
See,
Like,
if anything, if I've run into an ex, I've been more flamboyant and just been like, this is what you're missing.
Yeah.
You know.
I haven't really had any exes, but I will say I'm really bad, and this is absolutely one of my flaws. I tend to ghost people.
Oh,
shame on you. I've done that too, but still, shame on you.
yeah, we know it's bad.
Especially if like you tell them that you're not interested, and they still like keep coming at you. I'm just like, I'm just not gonna say anything.
I've never been broken up with. I've always been the one that ended the relationship.
So
I've been broken up with a lot.
I was gonna say this, Paula, and I'm just like, so I don't feel the need to be flamboyant because I broke up with them. So this is
Yeah,
weird.
but I'm still like, look at me, I'm living my best life. It sucks to be you.
There we go. There you go. Revenge is the what they say. Revenge is the best dessert.
Men-
Served sweet or
men-
Best
something.
served cold.
Yeah. Yeah. There's no reason to run from people. I don't get it. That's a movie thing. That's some rom-coms where they're like ducking under the tables and stuff. It's like I'm good. I'm walking straight. I'm walking straight.
We can
I'm
flip.
walking straight. You can stop me because I'm just gonna be like, hey, and keep going. Like I'm gonna treat you like every other person. So
See,
it's
I think
like,
it's more of like when like you're at work and you're on a shift with someone, or you're going towards the break room, and then there's someone that you don't vibe with at work, and you're just like, no, I don't want to look, no, don't see me, don't want to talk to you.
and they're like, hey.
Yeah. It's like, okay.
Kiana says, I like to run over my ex. Oh my gosh. That was bad. Okay. I bet there's some stories to tell on there. Kelly says, I've been married 27 years. The exes are few and far in between. You are lucky. You are lucky. I've had a few of them folks before I got married. The guy that I broke up with, well, were we really together? I don't know. The guy I was seeing before my husband. He was a petty Betty, but he was like, I don't want to break up with you. I'm not ready for a commitment, but I don't want to let you go because somebody else is going to find you. Meanwhile, he was calling me all sorts of names because he said I joined the military to flash myself around a bunch of dudes. I'm like, that's drastic. You
Well,
think?
good riddance.
Yeah, all of that.
Better off.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Why
then
would you join the
it's
military for
funny.
that? You could just go work at a strip club. Like, what?
Exactly. I'm like, that's a lot of work if I want to
Yeah.
basically whore around to join the military. But then he was like, but I don't want to commit to you because I'm hung up on my ex and he's texting his ex. He's just a whole big ball of contradictions. But like I said, he was like, somebody else is going to snatch you up because I think you're a good person. So I'm a whore and I'm a good person. Like, I don't get it. He was right because within a week, we broke up and I met my guy who I got married to. And then that guy stalked me for like 6 months. So it's like, it's crazy.
You need to do some emotional development.
Exactly. But my kids might not appreciate me doing it to their dad. Yeah, don't run baby daddy over, okay? Molly says, I often get on well with my exes, but there are the one who I was at a wedding I was at. He disappeared after the ceremony and didn't come to the reception. Oh, that's messed up. It happened. It wasn't meant to be. Find somebody else, right? Revenge is best served flamboyantly. Kelly says yes to Molly. My ex was almost 20 years ago. It's nice when they're a long time ago, insecure. Yes, most people that are kind of controlling and doing crazy stuff are insecure. I got enough insecurities of my own. I'm not being anybody else's. Oh man, baby. There's a lot of them out there. Watch out, ladies. Molly says, I invited 2 exes to my wedding. I've been to the wedding reception of one, though I was invited on the day when another guest missed her flight.
Or they just trying to like fill seats? That's weird.
I know, that's what I'm saying. I would go eat cake and drink. Okay.
It's not cheap, so you better have as many people there to eat the cake and the food.
Open bar?
I'd be like, you can invite me. If I got invited to an ex's wedding, I don't know if I will go at this stage, but if I was petty Betty back in the day and wanted to go, I would invite like a girlfriend. Hey girl, you want to go cause some trouble? We would like dress like real whatever, look real cute, eat, drink, and don't even bring a gift. That's what I would do. Be like, eat the food and everything. Like,
I'm gonna be entertained.
Why would you bring a gift? Your presence is the gift.
Exactly. You wanted to see this, you wanted to see this again, which is why you messaged me, because I ain't thought about you in years. Whatever. That's in my head. Things I would like to do. Definitely red flags for sure. Molly said after he divorced, I was invited to his ex-wife's wedding. So was he.
Wow.
I don't understand this whole mentality of inviting exes to weddings and events. Like, unless it was like a friend, so you're friends of the family.
Like y'all were still friends or something. Or,
like if it was never really serious relationship.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't.
That's weird.
Yeah, I'm not doing it. Not
Or maybe they trying to be petty too. Like, look at what you're missing out on.
well, we gonna shell out together and make a mess of it together. Oh. All right, well, this has been fun. I'm gonna have to go. My husband's like, "What are you doing? Come watch video." Any last honorary questions or never have I ever's that you think are really, really fun? You want to get off your list?
I'll go.
Okay.
Never have I ever had Special K.
Isn't the
Which
cereal
one?
or
The cereal or
Right, which one?
So come on, this is like a sub theme of this readathon at this point, thanks to Kiani.
I've never had that. I've never had that drug.
Yeah, I've never had that particular one. I've seen plenty of people on it. I'm exposed to it all the time, but I've never myself.
Yeah, no.
I mean,
Yeah, I got one.
what's the white
had the
stuff?
cereal.
What's the
Propofol.
white stuff? The white stuff that
Coke?
knocks you out.
That's
No.
propofol. That's Michael Jackson's milk.
Okay.
What?
They call it like the
they call
juice,
it
the
milk.
juice of the poppy over here. That just like makes you go sleepy. And it's like I had that. I had the morphine.
Mm-hmm.
I never had Special K.
Yeah, me neither.
I'm ibuprofen, aspirin, and melatonin. That's as good as we get over here.
You got
Are
one
we
last
talking
one?
legal drugs or non-illegal drugs?
Yeah, I'll watch the
Whenever
thing
you feel
back.
comfortable admitting publicly on YouTube, Alicia.
What's
But
that?
But I got one
Mhm.
before we leave.
All right.
Never have I ever hooked up with a random person on the street.
Wait, we keep our hands up if we haven't.
Right. Keep your hands up if we haven't. Yeah. Never. It's never been a random person.
How long did I talk to them on the street? No kidding.
I've had a one night stand, but I've never had I knew them previously.
So,
I don't like
so the
people.
funny thing
Yeah, we knew each other
is
for a minute. It wasn't like 2 minutes.
that's how my oldest was born.
Congrats to your oldest.
His father came up to me on the street. I didn't know him, and he came up to me and he's like, "Hey, it's my birthday. Don't I get a birthday hug?" And I hugged the stranger, and then I went home with him.
It was the one that was on the you picked up.
And then I was with him for like 11 months. But like,
Sorry, I see where you're going with that.
It happens. Hey, we all have our stories to tell. That was yours.
Yeah, no, I don't like
11 months,
people.
okay? You got your kiddo out of it.
I did. And then he's a dink, so that's fine.
They all have their moments too. Married to the most recent? Nope, never. Stranger danger.
Yeah, I have to.
What's that?
I'm trying to figure out what if I have one on him that might be pretty cool.
That is true, Kiana. I agree. I feel like in Dare, like in middle school, they made it silly there were going to be all these opportunities and people were just going to be like trying to get me to do drugs. And that never happened.
Exactly.
I feel
one
cheated.
in the private chat.
It's true. Like, I wasn't given that experience.
Yeah.
What, you mean they didn't put needles in your candy?
Say again?
Huh?
I said, what? You mean they didn't put needles in your candy or whatever?
No, I saw a documentary on Netflix about that.
I think the Rebecca Jasmine person has actually left, possibly, because they're not really saying anything in the comments.
Yeah, they said they were leaving.
Yep. There we go.
So you could say the one that you put in the comments.
I was gonna say, never have I ever written my own smut.
Oh no, I don't know. No.
Oh yeah, hold up. Yes. Oh yeah, I've written it.
Not published. Like I've written it on a paper.
Yeah, I used to write my own smut in middle
Like,
school.
you don't
I had
have to
those stories.
Courtney.
I was like a writer, amateur stuff.
Makes sense though. I mean, the hormones come in kicking like a mule.
That's so funny.
Oh my goodness. And I'm bored with talk to you.
I have no interest in being at all part of the creation of any story. I don't like those self-insert things. I don't even like, what is it? Choose your own adventure.
Oh,
The little kids ones are okay, but like some
I
people
want to
try
write one of
to
those that's adult.
Well, you were talking
Yeah,
about
do
writing
it.
your own story where you're the one in it.
No, just writing smut in general.
Oh, okay. Okay. I thought I heard it wrong. Okay, yes, I've
not
done that.
insert,
I
but
was like, I'm not putting myself in nothing.
Yeah, I started writing when I was 16. And like I was reading romance back then, like Mills and Boone, and I'm like, I can write better than this. And yeah, it turned out to be quite
right
smooth.
better than this. The
Alicia says
confidence
she
of
is.
hero.
I'm with you.
I was very confident in my writing when I was a teenager. Reading some of it back, I'm like, girl, what are you doing?
Oh, okay, we're gonna get out of here, but I do want to give a special shout out. If you've noticed, I'm able to see Atia's comments. It's been almost 6 months, and we have finally fixed the problem. I was
What's
not
the
able to
problem?
see her comments. I wasn't able to see her comments for some reason. I would only know she was here because somebody would be like, "Hey, Atia." Somehow
Yeah,
she was blocked.
so you didn't figure out what the problem is, but somehow fixed it?
No, I figured out what the problem is. She was on some sort of blocked list of mine. It was like 3
Well,
people that I have no idea how, but I had to go into like all these different settings and stuff.
yeah.
I kept going with different settings and I finally found the right
YouTube.
way. Yeah, I'm like, what in the world? How did Atia get in this list? But we have fixed it. So I just want
For us,
to give a
for
special
getting
shout
out,
out.
we
Okay, well,
let
this has been a fun time. I hope y'all had a good time.
It's been great.
Boot camp continues to live for the next few days. Finish your
And
bingo
so the next one will
cards.
be when? January, right?
Yep. It'll be January. Yep.
Okay, perfect.
Which is when it normally would be in January, but things happened this year. So,
And special shout out to Courtney for creating and running this readathon.
Mm-hmm.
special shout out to y'all for agreeing to
Amazing.
participate. It's been a good time. We have some other hosts too, but we can only fit 6 on screen, so that's good. That's where we're at. Thank you everybody for attending. Links are all in the description boxes. We have all our hosts here. Make sure you go ahead and subscribe if you are not already. That's all I got. Any of y'all have anything you want to promote, talk about, all of that jazz?
No, I mean, check out the convoy so you see who's sprinting for the rest of the month. And,
I'm
Without
just ready
spoiling
to
any-
go sleepies. It's like 4 a.m. I'm ready
yeah.
to sleep now.
Thank you for coming.
Without spoiling anyone or
72
without
hours
spoiling
straight
who,
tomorrow.
I have
What, Donna?
Sorry.
I said I have 72-hour sprints tomorrow.
What?
You'll be busy. You'll be up with Neva. I think she's in 24-hour sprints now.
Yeah.
What were you saying,
Yeah, I've
Jeff?
seen that actually.
There we go.
Without spoiling anything about who is my next Read the Beats, the video should be out. I haven't reached out yet, but the video should be. Hang on, let me check. Should be 5th or 6th of July. So 5th for me, 6th for me
Okay.
of July.
Cuckoo.
So it's essentially a week.
Oh,
Yeah.
if anybody knows how to deal with quicksand, I've been told just completely submerge yourself
Just
What?
relax.
and balance.
Relax and very slowly kind of wiggle things to disperse the sand. You don't want to try and go like that, otherwise it'll just grab onto you like even harder and you'll sink even quicker.
And if you know somebody with a rope and a vehicle, tie it to you and have them drive.
Yeah.
That's so random. I have so many.
Also, Molly, just don't go into quicksand.
Yeah, exactly. Anybody else have any comments? Oh, I will be working the next 3 days, so I'll be sporadic at best. in and out of things because I sleep during the day and work at night. But so you'll see me at random hours if you're.
Don't forget to check off your bingo boards.
That
Yeah.
is true. That is true. That is
And
true.
remember, the daily prompts don't stop just because you've been doing them. The daily prompts stop when the readathon stops.
I did a color code. I don't know if you can see it. Probably not. But
There we go.
mark it off,
Yeah.
mark it off. All right, let's get out of here. I gotta go I'm still hungry. I stand up till 2, so I got another 2 hours.
Well, thank you for having us, Courtney.
Thank y'all very much for coming. Much appreciated.